Oh, tweet deck.
Well, skate or die.
Skate or die.
This party is live.
What?
Is lit.
Oh, shit.
Is lit AF.
I cannot
Is
believe we're on the internet.
We are so on the internet. It's happening right in front.
Ooh,
Look at
yeah.
you. You're winding it up.
Where's that Ron Paul gif? It's happening.
Ooh, hey,
Hey.
Oh, got a
Caller,
loud
caller,
one here.
Can you turn down your radio?
Turn your radio
You gotta
down.
talk about how he enters the room.
That has happened once in the last 300 live streams.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with failing
So
once.
did they do away with dark mode on YouTube? They was like, nah, that was too good for you.
Yeah. They had to change something. So here's the thing you
Yeah, it had been a day since they had changed
Yeah.
something.
You like
so-
that, didn't you? It's gone.
Try dank
fucking
mode.
gone. Let's retweet that tweet.
You should
Oh
tweet-
no! If you tap on your user icon in the top right-hand corner, you will see
shit.
dark theme
I popped
off,
out the chat.
and you closed the mother window.
Wait, what?
The mother window.
The mother window. Dark theme. Fuck yeah, dark theme. Dark theme.
Jesus,
Dude,
how are you on like 11?
what did you eat?
I'm so fucking tired that that's what happens.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just up playing Far Cry?
No.
Oh.
Not at all. Work. Being a worky, shitty bitch. That I work for.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I'm connected to the internet.
That dark mode.
Hey, look, there we are.
Makes me happy.
Does it?
Dark
I
mode,
want
duck.
I want dark mode on everything. Like Google Docs.
That's racist.
dark
Shit.
mode.
Going on the dark web with your dark mode, huh?
Yeah.
Man. I want a free dark web scan. So they can go, actually, you can't scan the dark web, so.
A little bit fleece day.
Trying to,
In your
trying to
TL?
I'm trying to bring the hype a little bit. 'Cause everyone's so like, hey, yeah, video games.
Man, I'm trying.
Video games. Hey.
You're sucking all of the wind out of the room.
Am I?
Yes, with your excite.
There was a tweet that said, I started a live stream on YouTube. No Quarters Net live stream.
I was still fucking doing that.
Immediately followed by, it's time. We're recording a new episode right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Are you logged in as the No Quarters Google? Because
Yes.
YouTube's being a little fucky, so I don't know if I have to change the settings down. I love that we fixed one and the other one's like, nah, fuck you. We're gonna
Bring
break
it down
that.
to 4,000.
Okay.
4 new interactions at No Quarters Net. Oh,
It's all us.
Oh.
Yeah. Give you a little hint. There's 4 people in this room.
oh,
Is it us?
yes.
Aw.
Oh.
Damn it.
Post it in Discord.
Yeah, put it
I
in
did.
dat
I
Discord.
put it into Discord.
Discord.
I discorded it.
Discord.
You know what?
I have.
I'm going to make the Bamfcast retweet the No Quarters.
Oh,
It's
shit.
like synergy.
Ah, make Bearsuit Studios do it too, since everybody that follows all of
I forgot we had that account. I still have the No Pretense of Cool login.
Yeah.
Every
That-
once in a while, Twitter's like, hey, you got notifications. And it's basically like, someone who follows this retweeted somebody else. Like, I kind of hate what Twitter's done lately.
I am.
Me too. It's called being Twitter.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
glad that I am using a non-Twitter client, like a
Not for long.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll go away. Maybe it won't. Carbon hasn't said anything about it, so
Oh, Carbon's fucked. I mean, when the big boys are getting fucked, Carbon's gonna be dead.
No.
who knows?
That's the prophecy. When the big boys are getting fucked,
Carbon is
Carbon's
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
When the big boys are getting fucked, Carbon is dead.
We just activated a sleeper agent watching this.
Probably, yeah.
Hotel Banana.
9 trombone video
Whiskey.
games. Carbon. Big boys getting fucked.
Yep.
.tumblr.com.
No, that's different.
That Tumblr.
That's not what you think it is. Yeah. I mean,
It's
or it
exactly
is.
what I think
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. Guess everyone's still watching the Zuck.
Is he still talking?
Yes.
Jesus.
What is there to talk about?
I have no idea. It's a bunch of 100-year-old people who don't understand the internet and him lying. So,
Yeah.
oh no, we're really sorry.
How do I get the Facebook on my jitterbug?
Mm-hmm.
Jitterbug. Jitterbug.
Put your balls out into my mouth.
You put the soccer ball into the place. And he talks all day.
The place.
Out of his stupid face.
Man, so
Yeah. What?
Video games?
so everything we got's in the Google Doc. Huh?
Yep.
It sure is.
Yeah, there's
Everything we've
6
got.
lines.
That's all we got.
But do you know how long it's been since the four of us have played not just one game but two?
Yeah.
Of the same game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I can't name the last time we've all played one game.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
From there to here.
Yeah.
So many people have tuned in to No Quarters.
Yep.
It's just
So should we just start?
Well, I was going to say, what are we waiting
zero
for?
people.
This never
7:30.
happens.
It
Ever
has to be
happens.
7:30.
yeah, 7:30. We should.
Oh, is that
We're
what it
waiting
is?
for Kyle's shift to end.
Right.
So he,
Hey guys, what I
Right.
miss?
We'll start the podcast at 11:38.
it is kind of like his
Yeah.
timing is amazing.
I'm
Because
here.
it is
What's the
always
movie?
literally as we're like, all right, we're shutting it down.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
I made it.
Oh.
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 Well,
What?
What's going on?
I have a call I have to answer.
Oh,
Talk amongst yourselves
all right.
because they know that I'm here.
Give us a topic.
Hello?
Peanut. It's neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss.
Ant lions. Neither ants nor lions. Discuss. Pants. They're neither pants. Whoops. Fuck that up. They're neither pans nor ants. Discuss.
Pants aren't pants. They're underwear. God, that sketch will always make me laugh.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
It's probably been just about long enough that I should watch Mr. Show again.
I've been close to doing
Yeah.
a marathon of it.
So close.
It's just like every few years. Yeah, it's time again. Watch it again.
Yeah.
Watch it again for the first time.
My wife was just like enjoys Better Call Saul, and she was like, "I would like to watch that Mr. Show," and I'm like, "You don't understand. It's not. You don't. I don't know what you think that is, but that is not what you're looking for." It's-
What if she likes it?
she might, but yeah, usually '90s comedy is like fucking kryptonite to her. The worst thing is like, here's a funny thing I enjoy, and 2 seconds later she's like, phone.
What if it's like bizarrely prophetic 90s comedy?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much shit. It's like
Yes.
it's like the old Simpsons things. Like, how did you know
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Show and the Simpsons in the
Yeah.
90s?
I still think we're living in the
Prognosticators.
blow up the moon universe of
Yeah.
just, haha, the monkey wants to know why we're going to blow up the moon. Hey there, monkey, don't be asking why.
Yep.
Don't you mess with God's America.
Jeepers Creepers Semi-Star. Still one of the
Yep.
greatest things ever created.
Yep.
No! I was on the 18th hole.
Mm-hmm. I've almost said things to people that I always
I've
have to
almost said things to people,
stop
too.
saying because
Yeah.
something will be going wrong somewhere, and I would be like, "Oh, you should go shake the crime stick at that person," and just be like, "What?"
Neverland, we walk it.
Well, I should go.
Oh, someone else is here.
Hey!
Who's
No one
here?
else.
Is it you, Kyle.
Hey. Hey. Sorry.
Identify yourself. We're not talking about video games yet. This is called vamping.
We're vamping.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
Yep. How's your weekend?
my weekend was all right.
You watched Dick
Good.
Tracy?
That sounds
I
great.
did a podcast with you,
Yeah.
and we played some video games. We broke both of them.
Yep, we sure did. Yep. Yeah, I was there. Good times.
Yeah.
Did you break them by winning?
No.
No, we played them incorrectly.
We fucked up 2 videos. Technically, we played one to the end mostly.
Mostly.
It was a weird thing where it gave you a choice, and we chose poorly, and it put
We
us
chose
right-
logically.
We
and-
chose logically, and it was like, oh, well, obviously you want to start the game over again because
Yeah.
try again and pick a better choice next time.
Yeah. And the
Well-
second one just broke.
We tried to go peaceful because the guy was like, hey, I just want to talk. We're like, cool, again.
Yeah, well, listen.
Talk it up, brother. He's like, oh, well, since you don't want to fight, go back to the beginning of the video game.
Yeah.
Try again.
Yeah. Fucking Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, it was fucking Darkwing Duck.
We'll have better luck this weekend with everyone on staff.
Yeah. Get on my staff. Everyone.
Which reminds me, someone needs to bring a controller of some kind.
I don't have any controllers.
Bring that driving controller.
What driving controller?
Don't you have a wheel?
I have Mackey's wheel, like his PS2 wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get right on that. Well, Lucky and Wild this shit.
We just need one more thing.
A light gun. 2 light guns. A grip of light guns.
50 light guns. Let's just plug in the rock band drums or something.
Yeah, okay.
Or guitar. I think I probably have. No, actually, I don't have a wired guitar anymore. So that's a real
You know,
shame.
the Guitar Hero 2 guitar.
I don't think so. I think those are all wireless over there.
Pointy white piece of shit.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
That thing got lots of use.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of use.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You play that Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
The person didn't
Oh,
like our
channel.
vamping. They left.
Yeah, we're shitty at vamping.
Yeah.
We're shitty at a lot of things. Never stops us.
Never doesn't. Never does. Never does. And he does not.
Okay.
I don't know. Words are stupid. So am I.
Didn't you buy like one of those retro gamepad things?
It's Bluetooth, yeah. Probably Bluetooth this.
Bluetooth.
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 This thing got Bluetooth?
Bluetooth. Toofs of blue.
Hi, where's your blue teeth? This might not have Bluetooth. Huh. But I do have a little
Dongle.
Bluetooth dongle. Dangle dongle.
Dongle.
Hey, Sabrina, how's it going?
Hi.
What? Hey. Oh,
I'm
hey!
surprised more things don't come with Bluetooth natively. Like,
Well, this computer's old.
It's not.
It's 100 years old.
It's not at all.
It's very old.
I rebuilt it like last year.
So old.
Okay.
Okay.
good luck on your midterm, Sabrina.
Study hard.
We're just here riffing, vamping,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yiffing.
No, we're
This will be here when
What?
you're done
not. We're
studying.
not yiffing.
No?
Not yet.
Oh. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Hand me my luchador mask. It's as close as I got.
Rawr. Hiss.
It's going to be extra fun when I get the call and have to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I promise it'll probably happen after we start the show, though.
Cool.
Hey, yes, irradiate the world. One person at a time.
Mm-hmm. 420 radiate it.
Sick.
Exactly.
360 no scope that X-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. It's like XXX ray XXX.
This ain't
420.
radiation. XXX.
Well, no, the people that like can't get their actual
Yes.
name and just throw all the X's in their Xbox name.
Yeah.
XXXX 420 ray.
Lowercase x, large x,
Yeah,
lowercase
right.
x.
Yeah, like triple X.
Blaze it
State of the
420.
Union.
I don't really need superpowers. I just need the sweet release of death.
All right.
Well, radiation can bring you that.
Yeah.
That joy. Not particularly fun way, but you know.
I mean, a large enough dose of radiation fast enough. I think.
Yeah.
That'd do it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
You
that'd
think?
make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me give me triple X-rays, directly to the face part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that.
I want superpowers based on being struck by lightning. That's my dream of superpowers. I want lightning powers. Not necessarily like Flash speedy powers, but just, you know, like yeah.
So do you want lightning powers like I can make things turn on and off, or you just want to fucking blast them with 1,000,000 volts?
Yes. I want to control like electricity and lightning and stuff. I mean, it'd be cool to like be able to like hop in a socket and like ride the line somewhere, you know. Like that kind of thing. Like, you know,
I like to hop in a socket and ride the line if you know what
you
I'm
know,
doing.
Ghost of the Machine my way places.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that hot reference.
So you want to turn into lightning?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like
You want to be the electric gremlin.
No, there's a Superman villain / Supergirl villain. Fuck. What's her name?
Electric guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Supercharged.
It's a really lame name that if I were
Electrode.
Sparky.
Look, we're trying. You know, I know
know.
fuck all about video games.
The Shockmaster.
Static Shock?
No, yes, but it's close to that. It's something Shock because she was like a shock radio DJ who got zapped and became a electric power.
Shock Lady.
Yeah.
DJ Shockenstein.
DJ
DJ
Shockley.
Shitakama.
Shitakama. Mushrooms?
Shiitake mushrooms.
Count Shockula.
I'm so tired it's not even happening.
I'm also...
Mackey's so tired he's not even here.
Livewire.
That's
Live
not
wire.
It has nothing to do with shock.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
the
just saying, I was
Shockmaster was the wrestling guy who crashed through the wall in a
It is.
stormtrooper helmet.
I can't believe that I
and
actually
immediately fell down.
I can't believe I just Googled Superman Electric Lady and I got the answer. Thanks, Google.
Google knows.
Google knows that
It
I'm
knows.
stupid.
Google has all your data.
Electric Ladyland.
I would go to Electric Ladyland.
That's where Jimi Hendrix lives.
Well,
Well, lived.
Yeah.
that was the studio, wasn't it?
Sure.
Yeah. Man, I need something to get me pumped.
Have you tried alcohol?
That's not going to help.
Put it in your beverage.
That's not going to help. It's just going to make me more tired.
Have you tried crack?
I don't have any. If I had crack, I would try it.
I don't have any crack. Why are you
If
looking at me?
if
I'm not
I had
holding out on you.
methamphetamines,
Why are you holding out on us?
I'm not. There might be crack in like the fucking elephant statue. I mean, we could just be like, you
Let's
know,
smash all the
inadvertent
things.
drug mules.
right?
Yeah.
It might be just made of crack.
Yeah.
We have an elephant statue that one of our friends and listeners sent to us from the glorious Republic of Thailand.
Yeah,
It is two elephants fucking.
there's cocaine.
Yeah,
in
it's the fucking elephant statue. Quite literally. Also, there's the lizard. You could try smoking that. That's from like Indonesia.
You could try smoking the lizard, man.
it. Yeah.
See how that works out for you.
There's crack in that companion cube too.
Yeah,
We should just rip that
absolutely.
open.
This is what it's devolved into, huh?
Chuck, Chuck's just always aching for a
Some
for a
crack.
crack
You
habit.
said you would try crack right
What is
now
it
if you
with
had
and
some.
crack?
He said it.
Why are you accusing me of these things?
You-
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
one-
Chuck, I
Rewind
mean,
the live stream.
Seriously, Chuck, I think like your pre-addiction to crack is becoming a problem.
welcome
My pre-addiction.
Yeah, this is a pre-intervention.
pre-intervention?
Yeah, a printervention.
Stop talking about
gaslighting of Chuck Dowling.
It's a printervention, which is not to be confused with the thing that spits out paper and tells you no.
No, fuck you guys. I'm gonna keep talking about doing crack. You can't stop me.
Okay, well, only you can stop you. That's what we're just trying to get that point across.
Fine. I don't want to stop talking about maybe doing crack. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hi and bye, Sabrina. All right. I'll have to watch this later.
What?
Don't do crack. You don't do crack either.
Why not?
Because it's bad. You'll get hooked on it.
Yeah.
Crack is incredibly
happen to me.
addictive.
For the record, I have zero interest in doing crack.
Yeah.
Now.
I don't
no,
need it.
ever.
Look,
I was never on the crack train.
Yeah.
I'm curious about
I'm
all the
not
drugs.
crack-a-lacking here.
Listen,
All
I am
of
a
the
big
drugs
proponent
I'm
of,
really
of
curious
people should
about.
try everything once, but not crack. Not crack and not heroin.
Yeah, not even once.
You
I
really
would
should.
like to give them a try, but I will not, most likely, until I am closer to death than I am now.
Whitney Houston enjoyed it, and she was
How'd
a
that work out for
popular
you?
singer
How'd
for
that
a
work out for
long
her?
time.
How'd that work out for her?
Ultimately, it didn't, but I'm not going to get addicted to crack.
Sure.
I'm just going to do it a
Boy,
couple times.
I'm sure that's never been said before. Oh, I'm not going to get hooked. No.
No.
Yeah.
In defense of heroin, perhaps. I
Also never been said before.
Go on.
I'm
Oh,
just
no,
gonna
that's
say
probably been said a
I've
lot.
had morphine, which is a cousin of heroin.
Yeah, it is.
And while no drug is worth injecting yourself with,
Uh-huh.
I gotta say morphine is pretty fucking awesome. Like
All right.
when it was prescribed to me in a hospital by a doctor, I didn't give a fuck about anything. So, and that's
Codeine.
yeah,
Thumbs up from
Codeine.
this guy.
I'm saying codeine is weak sauce compared to morphine.
Well,
Yeah, but it makes you feel fucking great.
I was telling BJ last week the shit they gave me when they scoped me. But that was some fun coma juice.
They scoped you. They no scoped you.
Yeah, they did.
Or the yes scoped you.
Yes, they scoped me.
360.
180 yes
Yeah,
scope.
you got consent scoped.
Uh-huh. I did, yeah. I signed a form giving them consent, and then they scoped me.
Propofol?
That was the forget-me-not drug that they gave me, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't remember the
Oh.
horrific nightmare.
They give you retcon?
Yeah, they did.
No, they gave him Recticon.
No.
Because of
Oh, God damn it. All right.
No.
what? Because of the butthole?
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't get the butthole
Yes.
scope.
Oh, they went down your throat.
Yeah, they went down my throat.
Oh.
Man,
okay.
I
that's
hope
a
they
tough,
didn't use the one they went
Man,
with.
that's a tough way to get up your ass by going down your throat.
I hope they have
Yeah.
two different scopes.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Oh, whoops.
No, they
That's
just-
the one that goes in your butt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they just rub some of that jelly on it.
Yeah,
and
just
move on.
Good old Kentucky jelly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, everybody loves Kentucky jelly.
they just run it through you and then they
Yeah.
spin you around on it.
Yep. Oh, so you're saying they spit roasted you?
Yes, exactly.
They have one guy on one end pulling.
It's just
They put an apple
I
in your
might
mouth.
have been at the Roto Rooter. I don't know.
I mean, there is a
Yeah.
continuous hole from your mouth to your butthole.
Right,
so.
it's a straight shot.
Yes, not straight.
Yeah. There's a few twists and turns along the way.
Right,
little bit,
and if
yeah.
you lay them all out, you'll reach
eventually
the
you could
moon.
make it.
You know, if you were to lay all of
You'd
your
also
guts,
die.
That's
Boom.
that's what.
A little more succinct. However you were going to say it was not as succinct as how I just.
You just got 360. No scope. He didn't even aim. He's like, you're a joke. Fuck it. Boom. Blaze it.
Yeah, let's just start the fucking podcast.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's start it. Let's do this.
I really didn't mean to walk on your joke like that, but it worked out pretty well.
Yes, you did. I know.
Okay,
You.
fine. Yes, I did. So, welcome to No Quarters, episode 97.
Still.
Motherfucking video game podcast.
I still got to order that fucking clapper. You going to clap? You want me to clap?
You can clap.
Spend a little bit of my undeserved energy.
Welcome to No Quarters, episode 97.
Hey, it's a motherfucking video game podcast.
You are so right, friend.
man.
I'm
Am I
Matthew,
ever? I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
and we're back.
We are.
And we have played some games, but this is a rarity for this show. We have all four of us have played the same game twice. This might never have happened.
Well,
Wait, so
Oh,
carried
no,
it
hold
they're
on.
like two different games.
Once.
All four of us have played.
So we've played 8 different games.
No.
no.
No, we played.
All four of us have played one of the same games.
Uh-huh.
Another game we have also all four played twice.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say this has not happened this generation.
So it's like 16 games.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was
No,
bad
it's
at
actually more
algebra.
like
I'm sorry.
24, but-
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
love that show.
yeah, it's a good show. So, should we just get right to it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Far Cry 5.
Yep.
We all pre-ordered Far Cry 5.
We
have
did.
all played a lot of Far Cry 5. Only one of us has beaten it.
I would like to apologize
but-
for not pre-ordering Far Cry 5.
Oh, but you
All
got
right.
it like day of or day later?
I think I bought it like the Sunday.
You
or
were in
something.
launch window.
I was in
Let's
launch
put it that
window.
way.
Yeah.
Because you were getting mad at us in various chats of talking about Far Cry 5, and you're like, guys, I should play this game.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Yeah.
yeah, you should.
Let's just say we've all played a shit ton of Far Cry 5 at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harlow the most.
Yeah,
I took a day off for it.
Okay.
So
and you know what? there is a shitload of stuff in Far Cry 5 to do.
There is.
I believe was it on? Did I say it on mic that I pinned my future of video games on Far Cry 5?
You may have.
Yeah.
I know you put it on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
That you needed. If you were going to stay with video games and they were going to continue to bring you happiness and not disappoint you,
Yeah.
Far Cry 5 was your last hope.
It
Was your Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It was feeling like it because I mean, thing after thing of like, oh yeah, this is the one, and then you know, from Mass Effect to Andromeda to a whole bunch,
Wolfenstein.
a whole bunch of things. It's like this is going to be the one.
Yeah.
I'm lukewarm on this at best.
Yeah.
I bet I can make a statement you'll agree with.
Okay.
As a video game, Far Cry 5 is a good time.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Moment to moment, that game mostly plays the way I want it to play.
It is a grand sandbox.
It is.
A grand box, if
Yes.
you will.
They have fixed some Ubisoft bullshit.
Kinda.
Well,
They've introduced other bullshit.
well, okay, but like they have made some things more organic. Like they've taken
Yes.
out the tower climbing to find shit.
Hooray!
They even make fun of that.
Yes. You find things now by talking to people, which is so natural.
I like it a lot.
Like it's janky how situations end and a person just suddenly decides to start giving you information. That's part is still broken open world video game bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
Because people are always panicky idiots, and then we'll just be like, "Hey,
All right. To be fair, this land of Montana, people should be more of a panicky idiot
yeah,
because this place is wild, and I mean that in every sense of the word.
You
know,
should
from,
not go outside.
From evil cultists to extremely reckless drivers to bloodthirsty animals.
Yeah, and that's part of my issue somewhat with it. Like an early complaint I had was just going around. There's no space to just relax.
oh no,
There's always
Very little.
something after you, especially early on. Like once you've cleared an entire area, which that takes a while.
It
Like,
does.
like even if you're mainlining just the storyline, there's still it's going to take some time to literally like clear out an area because there are 4 main areas. The intro area, which is a very tiny little island in the middle that I don't know what do they call it, Prepper Island or something. 'Cause-
It's Dutch's area.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because
Region, they call it.
the storyline, as everybody's pointed out, is you've gone up to Montana. You're part of this very small, not even task force. You're basically Did we determine if you were part of the
Your
U.S.
local-
Marshals
your local sheriff.
or if you
Your-
were the
your
local
local-
sheriff?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically this U.S. Marshal who's like, we're going to go shut down this cult and arrest this guy.
one U.S. Marshal.
One U.S. Marshal going to go into a heavily armed cult compound and arrest the one guy, and you, the sheriff, and another cop are the only other people accompanying him.
Yeah,
In the intro. As you can predict, things go poorly after you get to the main guy you're supposed to arrest. And from there, it's you versus a cult.
Yes.
And you and basically all the preppers that live in Upper Montana. Because they're basically, there's you, there's preppers, and there's cultists. And then there's a fuckload of animals that want to kill you.
There's a few non-prepper people that have managed to survive. Survivors we'll go with.
Okay.
Because, I mean, a couple people are still like, these preppers, I thought they were full of shit, but good thing for them, because, we're
Yeah.
still here.
Actually, I want to say most of the preppers are dead
Yeah.
because you're raiding
Yeah.
prepper tombs.
This is true also.
I've yet to come across a populated prepper hole.
I mean, sorry, so
Prepper hole. Yeah, man.
It's called a prepper stash.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Prepper
Sorry.
I hope they didn't get prepper lung down there.
you got to take the canary with you.
Lord.
This is a little bit of like supposing on the storyline because they're not super clear, but it seems to me that like when this cult started to take over, they knew the preppers were going to be their enemies because it seems like they went after all these places first because it's like they went in and murdered the people or made them disappear in some way and their shit's left behind. Like
Yeah.
they didn't bother to take anything
Well, they were.
because every place is like a deserted prepper station.
Yeah, the way it feels, at least from reading far too many of the notes penned around literally fucking everywhere in this game, the cultists, the Path of Eden, the Peggies, no, wait,
Project
Project Eden's Gate,
Eden,
yeah. God,
yeah.
I'm just off today. The Peggies tried to go after the preppers, but couldn't access their stashes because there was some mild puzzle.
Right.
The
They-
least
yeah.
inconvenience possible
They don't have time
prevented
for
them
that shit.
from getting into the stashes. So I think they were just going after the guns, and they were like, "Oh man, I got to go up in the skylight. No. I got more bliss to do. See you later.
Because, like, all the prepper houses have an answering machine in them, and they always have one message on it from someone saying, you got to get out of there. The Peggies are coming. And then there's, like, no sign of this person, but there's blood everywhere. So you're like, oh, well, that person's dead.
Well, and that's something that kind of carries over, at least I remember from Far Cry 4, where there'd be kind of like this little storyline of the guy would have a note and be like, yeah, I was going up in the mountains and I was going to discover this thing. And you'd be like, oh, man. And you follow, like, this trail of notes to, like, okay, I have to go up to the radar dish and find out, and then you find, oh, there's a backpack there, and there was a note in it, and then you finally, like, at the end, you just go in a cave, and there's, like, a dead guy.
Yeah.
And you loot him, and it's like, oh, here's $50 and a handgun.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and it was kind of like, I guess that's the end of his story, but it's not a satisfying end to his story. Because there's one like there's one called Squatch Hunting, is one of the prepper stashes, and I'm like, oh man, I got to do this one. And all it is like you basically climb up the side of this mountain, and you keep using all these rappel points, and you're just like, you get there, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's that guy, he's dead, and there's a dead mountain lion in there, so something went down.
There's also a bear up there. That's what killed him, I think. Because like,
was the bear in there?
I'm pretty sure there's a grizzly in there. Because like, I mean,
okay, yeah, that's right. It's a dead grizzly.
Well, the whole time you're climbing, like, there's weird, echoey noises throughout the canyon.
Squatchy noises.
Yeah, squatchy noises. If you will.
But the bear was dead already by the time I got there.
Thought I had
Squatch
to kill the bear.
killed him.
Yeah, maybe.
You had to kill the bear?
I'm pretty sure I had to kill the bear. It's been a long time.
Man,
so, you know,
I just got up there and the bear was already dead. So, which is the other thing. Like,
maybe that's the best
some
way to
days
be.
you shoot the bear. Some days the bear shoots you.
Yeah. But either way, it's just kind of like, all right, I guess that's the end of that story. So, you know, there's like all these little stories in there, but they never amount to anything, which I hate to say kind of feels like the main story does somewhat. Because you have cutscenes. The way you progress in the game, you know, there's the little prepper island, which you beat that, and it's like, all right, you've done the tutorial, just go out in the world and good fucking luck. And there's 3 areas ruled by 3 different bosses, which are basically siblings of this family. And you have to raise your resistance rank in the area. So you start out and like the cult just basically controls this entire area. And you have to either burn, you know, you blow up their silos that are full of this drug called bliss, which...
It's a very Just Cause addition to the game of these bright red things that you got to go around and blow up.
Yeah, and I mean, and this game's very good about visual stuff. On the, like, you know, whenever you see smoke on the, you know, black smoke on the horizon, you know that, okay, this is a place that the Peggies have taken over, and you have to kill everyone there, and then you will own that outpost later, and it becomes a fast travel point. And all that. So, and you'll raise your resistance rank, and there's basically 3 pips on the bar. So the first one is when the person will send you a video, you know, or at least that's what in John's area, he'll send you a video that's like, you need to understand what you're doing is wrong, and you need to, you know, he's supposed to be like the charismatic recruiter one.
Yeah.
But he just ends up
the
being
power
a
of
psychopath.
yes.
Yeah. And there's a big yes on the mountain, like in Hollywood lettering type. But he'll send you that, and then the next time, once you get to the next pip, is when it's like he'll call you on a radio or something, and he'll be like, you know, you've really pissed me off, but we're coming for you now. You understand that, right? And they will actually come at you with what they call bliss bullets.
Bliss bullets.
Which, when you get blissed, the screen goes kind of like anaglyph. Like if you were wearing 3D glasses, it kind of shifts a little bit on the edges and gets like super saturated, which is a cool effect, but it also makes everything slow-mo, and like you can kind of resist those guys for a little bit, but once that happens, you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah, when the screen says they're coming, just lay down.
Yeah.
To pause real quick, bliss is this drug that they have invented that is made out of these white flowers, and they use bliss to A, get high, and B, control things, and C, control animals, and it's kind of a catch-all, just like crazy drug.
It's a silly magical type thing.
Yes.
But you'll know the people that are
poppycock.
But you'll know the people that are affected by it because they'll have like green smoke basically floating around their heads.
Right, yeah.
For lack of
It's
a better.
just
And
I don't know how
animals.
cloud around their head.
I don't know how you consume bliss, but apparently you just like hang a sensor of it
Well,
around
apparently
your
you
neck or
just
something.
well, I mean, there are bliss fields.
Yeah.
In one area where you can't walk through them, or else you start getting all tripped out.
And they're dumping it in the water supply, so like some areas of water you go near and it's just all of a sudden you get blissed out.
Well, in certain areas, if you go underwater, it's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get real bliss.
Yeah.
You get blissed out before you lose, you know, oxygen.
Yeah, but they eventually, you know, you'll get kidnapped and then you escape, And then there's other points where you get kidnapped and you escape. You know, it becomes like this cycle of...
It's very much a Bond thing of, we've got you now. You're not going to get away. Something else needs my attention.
Well,
I'll be right back.
At least they justify it in that the way that this system works is they don't want to kill you. They want to convert you.
Yeah.
And they want you to confess to what you've done and, you know, to see their way.
Yeah.
And, of course, this is just going to lead you to end up murdering them by the end. And most of that happens in cutscenes that are, you know, no control over anything for a while. And it's just, you know, this guy in your face talking to you directly, which also you're a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
But
that is one of the most disappointing things about this game for me
Yeah,
so far.
I agree.
which is kind of frustrating because they let you be a man or a woman at the start. And, you know, everyone just calls you rookie or whatever, you know, and I think eventually they start calling you deputy once you've done more stuff to make them go, oh, you're actually worth something. You know, you saved all our lives.
Yeah,
We should show you some respect.
Yeah.
But, you know, they let you set your character as a man or a woman, but you never see your character ever. You might see yourself on a wanted poster put up by the Peggies, but
Or
otherwise,
if you die.
yeah.
You will see
But-
yourself alive.
Yeah,
But
but
in
usually
general-
you're just like in T-pose or something because you fucked up the wingsuit.
Yeah. Oh man, I fucking broken my neck so many times going straight into a friggin'
Just head first into a bridge abutment, and then you zoom back and
usually-
your players just
Usually for me, it
T-pose.
was a treetop that I thought I was going to go by, but I
yes.
just clipped it just enough.
Classic
and,
treetop.
Yeah, and black and white, and you dead.
wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, look, a lot of people had problems with Brody in Far Cry 3, you know, but say what you will, it was a scripted thing that was at least interesting, even if the guy's kind of a douchebag. You know, I mean, it was kind of like his journey away from douchebaggery into whatever else he became by the end. You know, it's like
less douchebaggy.
mystic douchebag, if you will.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know,
Did
then-
Ajay ever speak in the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
did.
I thought so. Yeah,
Hell,
Okay.
you spoke in Far Cry Primal.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was all caveman bullshit, but you were still speaking.
Yeah.
That was a language chuck. Thanks
But
very much.
this one's really frustrating because these people are just feeding you bullshit, and your guy never calls them out on it because your guy or woman doesn't speak. So, I mean, it works better than it does in like Monster Hunter World because, you know, you're not like just grinning at him going, you know, like a fucking moron.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say at least being the silent protagonist, you don't get the third person, like, you know, cutscene where you're there just while everyone else is
that
chatting.
yes, and this is the only way that silent protagonist works is if it's a first person game. But it's just
so
kind of like it's so many people having a conversation with themselves in front of you.
Yeah, that
And that doesn't necessarily work. And then, I hate to say it, but they build up a lot of hate for, like, especially John. I was like, I'm going to murder this fucker, and I'm going to do it, like, dirty. Like, he's going to get it rough, and I'm going to fucking murder him rough.
they're going to give me a quick time cutscene, and I'm going to do all of the things.
Yeah, and then...
Press X to punch. Keep pressing X to punch.
Right.
Yeah, it's something like
Press
that.
X
but,
to grab battery cables.
Yes.
But they don't.
No.
I mean, they give a cutscene that ends a specific way, and then it's like, okay, I can loot the body and get $50 in a handgun again.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you're like, no. This should have gone differently. I should have had some agency in this somewhat. And it just never quite works.
Yeah.
And it's really, it takes the wind out of your sails so bad because you've been playing for hours building up to, all right, I get to fucking take this asshole out because I'm so sick of him preaching at me about how I'm the bad guy and I just don't get it, you know, and it's like, no. And at least, like, even if your protagonist could speak, you can say, no, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You know, anything, but you don't get any of that release, which, I mean, I know video games are trying to go away from violence somewhat, but I mean, you're still pretty violent in this game.
This game is nothing
game
but
is-
fucking
Yeah,
violence.
yeah, and there's
violence.
fucking torture shit.
Yeah.
Like, there is rough stuff that happens in these cutscenes that you cannot stop.
Well, they're straight up hanging townsfolk up at on street signs with barbed wire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and beheaded and shit.
Yeah,
There's
so,
a section where there's like a set of antlers embedded in somebody
Yeah.
that is hanging upside down. Like, oh, this is some
So-
creepy shit.
yeah. So if you're gonna go there, let me do some of it to these people because they fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
It's weird that they give you the ability to customize your character, and really, it's a pretty lax character customization.
It's not great, but it's better than a lot of games have.
Sure,
it makes
sure.
you think like, well, this should be something important, but
they
it's probably
give you-
for Far Cry Arcade.
It
is what
it's for the multiplayer. Because like
Yeah.
when we were playing together, it was like, oh hey, that's what you look like.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they give you that, and then they strip away all of they give you the ability to customize yourself, and then strip away all the personality out of your character. And I would rather play a game that has a strong story with a scripted first-person experience than be a blank slate. You know,
It's weird that they
spend enough time in my
Yeah.
own fucking body.
It's weird that they stepped back from Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Blood Dragon, Primal, all of those where your character is voiced, and then they just give you this blank slate that it's not even like there's pauses in the dialogue so you can just yell at the screen. I mean, it's just there's no anything.
Yeah.
It's just that part is very disappointing. I'm just like in the first 15 minutes I was like, why isn't my character saying anything?
Yep.
And just realizing going through that entire first scene, why is my character not saying anything? And I was like, oh shit, really? Like this is where we're at now?
Yeah, and this one begs you to be interacting because this one you interact with these people a lot more than you did in 4 and 3.
Because like if there were underbosses in those, I couldn't tell you who they were.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Like,
No, it was more just like, all right, clear the area.
Yeah.
I mean, you had like side characters who were or weren't evil in like 3 because there was the voodoo priestess lady.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
things like
and-
that.
And
But I mean,
Herc is always going to be in all
right.
of
But I'm
them.
saying like there was no like, okay, you know, to get the pagan men, I've got to take out this guy, and this guy. You know, there was like
It was just the castles that you had to
right.
conquer.
Yeah, it was just
whatever
like
they call those
this area, and
fortresses.
maybe there's a dude, but he's not important. He doesn't have any personality.
Yeah.
See,
And-
because I felt like, aside from the way John goes out in that first, like if you can do this in any order. It's recommended that you do John's area first, but aside from the way that ends, I felt like at the end of that section, I had played a complete video game because I had put 16, 17 hours into this first area.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt like that's aside from the part of how it ends, that was a pretty good video game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
it feels like most video games where it's like, yeah, that was fun. The story's dumb, but
yeah.
but it's unsatisfying in a way that is very frustrating because this is the reason you're going through doing all this.
Yeah.
And Harlow, you've beaten it.
I know.
And you are not a fan of the end. You
I'm
were
a-
all about
I'm
this
about to
game
bu-
up
I'm-
until the end.
I'm about to bite my tongue off at this point because
I know.
I can't.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to be spoilery about it,
I
and
know.
we don't want you to be spoilery
I know.
about it, but
Just convey your overall opinion on how you felt when the game ended.
Fuck everything. Like I'm surprised I kept playing this game.
in terms of how you feel, your other famous I
Yeah,
hate the end of this
I
game
know.
is Assassin's Creed 1.
Oh yeah, no, this is worse. This is
This
way
is
worse.
actually
Oh,
worse
fuck yeah!
for
This,
you
this
than
is
that.
this might be the worst ending to a video game I've ever played in my life. Not joking.
And you watched multiple endings that were
Yeah.
equally
All right,
bad.
so just this isn't spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything that happens. There are 3 endings to this game. One of them is arguably not an ending, but there are famous idle endings for
Yeah.
these games that if
Yeah.
you choose not to do something in the very, we've already kind of talked about what happens when you go to arrest Joseph Seed, the head guy. If you just stand there while they're going, all right, put the cuffs on him, rookie, and you don't hit anything, there will be an ending. Like eventually the sheriff just walks up and goes like, all right, never mind, let's get the fuck out of here, kind of thing. And I'm paraphrasing. I mean, literally, that's about it. It's not spoilery.
And I almost did it
an
the
ending.
first night,
did,
but
too.
I was just like, I don't want to wait around because
Yeah.
the Pagan Min one, you had to wait around for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
for that to happen.
It's not spoilery because you could go see it in 30 seconds. Like I mean,
Yeah.
and then the ending is basically like, yeah, this is probably a bad idea. Let's get the fuck out of here. Credits. Like literally, that's the ending. I will tell you, that's the best ending you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Which is some nihilistic fucking bullshit. Because the 2 final endings are fucking terrible. But I mean, one's bad because like, again, I'm going to dance all around this. One's bad because you can, if you've played the game, you can obviously infer what's going to happen. and the other one is just straight up fuck you on a grand scale. Like, on a fucking grand scale. Like,
now, is it? I assume you are given a choice of what to do that determines which of the two endings, and it's not just like, oh, well, you did all this throughout the game, so
nope.
it resulted in
It
this.
is literally it's a
either or.
It's a A/B choice,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean either ending is shitty. Is all I'm going to say. Because I finished one and I was just like, I mean, it was like, this is cross-pollinating our podcast, but I literally put my controller down. And I was like, this game just Dark City'd me, the movie, because, and let me explain that, because Dark City from what was it, 97, 98, 98, yeah. I saw that in the theater. I was in fucking love with that movie while it was happening. Like it was so much my jam at the time, and then that ending happened, and I now hate that movie. I'm not sure. I mean, when I think about the story, I am still pretty much on board. But the thing about a movie is like it's linear and you're there just for the story. At least Far Cry, I can go back and say this is still a sandbox game and it's still hella fun, just to run around and fish and hunt and cause chaos.
Yeah.
But like, that's how bad the ending is. Like, I seriously thought about just like not ever playing this game again. Yeah. I can't go into any more detail than that, but like that's
the story stuff is not the game's strong suit. Obviously, Harlow's experience, and I think like I had enough motivation during the opening cutscene to be like, man, these fuckers all need to die. Let me loose. I need to murder them all, and that's all I really needed. And then all throughout John's section, I was like, man, this motherfucker needs to get it bad.
Well, it's like, for me, smug religiousness is just like a fucking trigger. Like, I just want to, I want to hurt people that are even, which is like the obviously the opposite of what they should be going for, but like smug, I know what I'm doing, and it's better than any way that you're living your life.
Well, John is basically
judgmental,
like, yeah, he's like, we're
shit.
doing all this to save everybody, to save them from the world, and I'm like, no, you motherfucker,
Yeah,
you're
fucking
absolutely
horrible.
not.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare shit show that you've got going on here. You need a bullet in your brain.
Like you.
Yeah.
I used to be an idiot.
So
Follow us. We're the only way.
so it's weird. You've got this upper level story happening that's a little too much going on for its own good. They're up their own ass with the prophesizing and just the, like, every once in a while someone will say a thing and you'll be like, wait, what? Like, because like John will say things like, look who's in charge now. The world's gone to shit. I'm the only one who can save everybody. And I'm like, yeah, but no. Also, so you've got that going on, but then you've got the regular people that you do missions for throughout the game. And if there wasn't this overall cult thing going on, these people that you're doing missions for would be the bad guy in any other video game, because they're all fucking mental patients.
Well, okay, to their credit, a lot of them are like wacky in the way that way off in the woods people usually are. Most of them are not bad per se.
No,
they're just like crazy people.
Although the lady that owns Peaches should just jump off the cliff.
Yeah. Although she gave me Peaches,
I was
so I
say,
can't
like,
be too mad at her.
It's funny though because it's so stupid. I mean, I think
yeah,
like her character is 100% satirical, because it's like that doesn't even, especially with like the avatar that I chose. I was like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Were you a vaguely Mexican lady?
No, I was as dark a man as you could possibly make it, because I was like, if I'm going to fight these asshole cultists in Montana, I'm going to sport a fro and take them down.
Yeah.
But anyway, the only person who I think is like outwardly like, all right, I don't even know if this is funny or if you're just doing it too much, is Herc's dad.
Herc's dad,
Drummond Sr.
Yeah, I still haven't met him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a big old asshole.
I was just saying, like, he's the only one that's like, all right, I don't know if you've looped back around from satire to you're actually just that guy. Like, I don't know if this is funny anymore.
It's too on the nose to be able to distinguish if it's like, well, obviously it's supposed to be satire, but it is really on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of doing the thing that Rockstar does with all the GTA games, but it's also, I mean, there's stuff like there's a mission where you have to find a tape that's important to the presidential thing, and it's like, okay, I get it, it's the P tape, and it's like,
I didn't even realize that's what it was till you guys started talking about
Yeah,
it.
but
Me
it's like
Seriously, you did the mission?
I did the
I
whole
did the
mission,
mission and had no idea.
Just was like,
Really?
okay, I'll get your dumb tape. I don't know what
Really?
you're talking
You
about.
didn't catch like the 18 puns they have for pissing?
No.
Before? Really?
yeah.
I totally missed it because that was right in the beginning of the game, and I'm
Yeah.
still
It
I was
was
familiarizing
overwhelming
myself
and,
with
like,
controls.
He would say like it's not going to be a wet work mission. It's like
Yeah.
literally like
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
I
usually
know.
catch those.
And
I wasn't
had no
expecting
idea.
that how recent the reference was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just every time they reference what we're in now throws me off because I'm like, how did you prepare? How did you do that?
Well, yeah, and
what is this wizardry?
and it's kind of part of when the game was first announced, we were all like, "Oh man, get to fucking shoot some alt-right Nazis," which is
Right.
like not what this game is.
No.
But they still like kind of pepper some of that stuff into things.
Yeah.
And
But it's-
it's like referencing politics like those Friedberg and Seltzer guys who make like, Meet the Spartans and all that. Like this references politics like that references jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, "Hey, remember that thing?"
Yeah.
And that's it. There's like there's nothing behind it. Just like all those movies there's no joke. It's
Right.
just like, "Hey, remember Captain Jack Sparrow?" It's like, yeah, I do. Why, and this one's just like, "Hey, remember the P-tape?" And it's like that sort of shit that doesn't quite work because it's not, it's just a reference that doesn't translate into anything except being a reference.
Well, so here's the thing for me is the top level story is engaging to a point, and then you just realize how much hot bullshit it is. The interactions with all the other characters doing missions and stuff are like kind of odd and creepy because of their attitudes, but you realize that you have to go along with it because that's the point of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this subversive layer underneath that. So like towards the end of the John section, one of the dudes you meet up with is just conspiracy nut crazy man who you have to go get the thermite for, and when you get it, he's like, "Yeah, that's what they used to blow up Building 7." And I was like, holy shit, we're doing 9/11 references in a video game now?
Yeah. Okay,
whatever. So they're doing that, and I was kind of like put off by that for a second. But then after you finish all that, you end up in like this medical center at some point. I think it's after the birthing stuff, and there's some notes in there, and there's a patient record for that guy, and that guy has literally been jamming Americana up his ass.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
I remember that.
Like a miniature Statue of Liberty, a folded up American flag. Like this
Rolled up
motherfucker
Constitution.
is so fuck yeah America. He's literally shoving it up his ass, and so there's this other layer of the game that, and it's doing it in the tips and stuff in the menus too, where it's like telling you how to shoot bullets and fuck you flat earthers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like the text of the game is what you want it to be. It's just everything else that's like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything else is a
I'm
little
helping-
bit too real.
Yeah, I'm helping the 9/11 maniac truther guy, and that's helping me defeat the bad cultists. It's such a mindfuck of opinions that
the game has two writers. One of them has worked on other Far Cries, or Far Cry, if you will.
Okay.
And I don't know what the bad thread is. Like I don't know if it's the guy that's been around or if it's this new guy. Like it's one of the. There's a dichotomy to the writing of this game because like some of it is clever as fuck. Like all of the flavor text in this game is so good.
yeah.
Yeah, there's one about like I think it's the rainbow trout, where they're like rainbow trout. They've existed for thousands of years in the same form because rainbow trout are super racist.
Yeah, I mean, like the flavor text in this game is
Yeah.
so good, and then it's like the main story is mostly atrocious. I'm going to go with. I mean, like
It's effective in the moment. Like
Yeah.
when you're trapped by John C, you're like, "No, fuck you! I'm gonna get out and kill you!
Yeah.
Damn it, guy!"
Yeah. So the thing is, like,
but when you think about what's happening, you're like, "This is fucking stupid."
yeah, like I have to put my mind back to where I was when I was at the stage in the game where you were, and honestly, like the taking down the lieutenants things, yeah, it's anticlimactic, but the thing is like the situations that they put you in, and after they've monologued, and you as the player are just going, this is such fucking horseshit. Even though your silent protagonist isn't calling them out on it, it's like this is such horseshit, and I'm going to murder you so hard that like there are parts in the game where I was so gung ho into running into the next area, I was just constantly running into a hail of death, and because it's like ticking clock, go, and like you just have to realize, no, it's a video game, and unless there's an actual ticking clock on the screen, you just need to play it like a video game, despite them being like, gas is filling up and your friend's going to die, blah, 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 blah. You know, like these kind of things are happening, but it's like, no, as long as there's not a clock on the screen, just take your time and murder dudes.
Yeah.
That's
So it's like there's a little bit of...
Well, the game wants you to think there's a sense of urgency.
Right.
There never is unless there's a clock on the screen.
I will especially encourage you at the end of, and you'll know when you're at the end of the John Seed stuff. Like, it's not as urgent as they make it seem, and you really need to take your time, and otherwise you're just going to get mobbed and massacred.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
That happened to me multiple times.
Another thing about this game, which is that
you get mobbed and massacred.
the difficulty is just all over the place. Like you could be
especially right at the beginning.
Yeah,
man.
Well, you could still be all powerful badass at one point, and then you get into these scripted missions that have multiple points along the way, and you just get fucking murked over and over and over again, and it's just like, what? Like I've been charging through and murdering everything, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, now I need to stealth and take cover.
Well,
and
and
the
that's
enemy
part of
density is really
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
Well, and it's part of like the whole open world emergent thing is that so much of it's randomized that I was helping the one. Grace is a mission where she's at the top of a church. You're trying to protect gravestones from guys who are just trying to wreck them, and her grandfather's gravestone's there, and she's like, "I'll be damned if I'm letting these Peggies take it." And so you're on the roof and just, helping her snipe dudes. And I swear, I'm playing this for 5 to 10 minutes, just like, all right, got that guy, boom, dead, headshot, just taking out systematically this whole group. And then my dog had run downstairs and got lit on fire, was biting a guy. I'm like, no, I'm saving Boomer because Boomer is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Boomer is a great dog. And I ran down, tried to save him, and got myself lit on fire, died. And I was like, fuck. I just wasted 10 minutes. And then so it respawns me. I redo the mission. And I swear to God, not joking, beat it in less than 90 seconds.
Okay, so it does a weird checkpointing thing when you die.
It does, yeah. It'll
So I had
checkpoint
already
you.
killed enough guys.
You had
to
killed
the
like the
end
first
part.
2 waves.
Yeah, but yet it doesn't present it like that. It presents
does not.
it like
That
it had started
confused
the
me.
entire thing over.
The save icon in the game is just the 3 dots at the top right corner, and I never notice it.
An ellipses, if
Yes.
you will? Okay.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, but that's just they need something more prominent that lets you know that
Yeah.
you've saved.
That messed
I do
with
like
me.
that you can save anywhere though.
Yeah. Although it's weird, I will save in a location and then come back to the game the next day, and that location has somehow been taken over, and I will just load up my game, and suddenly there's a fucking guy with a flamethrower in front of me. I'm like,
No.
the fuck? This guy was not here.
Hey, load the game and have that, takedown button ready to go.
I guess.
Because you probably surprise them,
Yeah.
because you just materialize out of thin air.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stealth.
Hi.
move. Yeah.
I'm a silent protagonist. Blam.
So, all right. So, I can continue to shit on the story. I won't because you guys haven't all experienced, and I can't wait for the next No Quarters when you've all finished the game, and you're like, wow, you undersold how shitty those endings are. But I will say, as far as a sandbox game, I want to talk about a couple of fantastic moments.
Okay.
Like a la Tales of Skyrim kind of things that have happened. Luckily, I had a witness for one of them that is just one of the greatest video game moments of all time. Is that I was standing, it was one of the first times I got the plane, patrol just coming around and randomly fucking with my shit. And so I'm standing on top of, there's one outpost where there's a couple of water towers. And I'm standing up on top of it. I'm just I'm standing there like Jack Nicholson in Batman 89, just come at me. Come at me. And this thing's just barreling down at it. And I just kind of calmly pull out my sniper rifle, take aim at the cockpit, shoot, and I'm like, oh, I guess I missed. And the thing flies over my head, hits the ground 20 feet behind me, rolls over and bursts into flames. And I was like, oh, I guess I didn't miss. And I was like, and it was like, fuck yeah, video games. It's moments like that where it's this game can just be the most glorious thing ever.
It is wild that was your first holy shit this video game moment, because
We were in the room.
Yeah.
We were there for that.
Were you both here? Okay.
It might have been Chuck and I were here.
I think it must have been you two, because
but
I
the
wasn't
two of
here.
us walked in, and you were just like, check this out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not going to hit that, whatever. And nope. And that's when you said, nah, I don't think I did.
I think
and
I missed
then
it. Because
all of a sudden the
you don't have
plane
much, there's
fucking
no
crashes.
ooh, XP up, above the thing. It's
Right,
just-
yeah, numbers don't jump out of his head or anything.
Basically the same thing happened to me, but in a different location. I had heard about your experience, and I was out in the field, and they're like, "Oh, the plane's gonna come hunt you now, so look out." And I'm like, fuck it. I bought the the $90 edition. I have a big ass sniper rifle already. Come at me, bruh. And the dude lines up his strafing round. I'm like, all right, come on, and bang. And he careened into a pile of cars behind me, and several explosions later, I was like, I think I'm going to like this game.
Yeah, video
I think I'm
games.
going to like it.
Yeah. I will say, though, that plane can be a pain in the ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when you hit a certain point, it will always be patrolling around, and it will always start when you start talking to somebody who's about to tell you where a prepper stash is or whatever.
Yep.
And it will start strafing the area, and that person will not calm down until you shoot down that plane.
That was my problem with the Peaches lady, because I kept trying to talk to her and the plane kept murdering us, and so she kept getting irritated that she would have to start her dialogue over, and eventually she says something like, "Hey, I'm a middle-aged white woman. You're supposed to pay attention to me." And I was just like, "Oh wow, fuck you."
That's pretty great.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
This was like the 4th or 5th time she'd been interrupted telling her story
Yeah.
about Peaches the cougar.
Yeah,
So
and you're like, it's not my fault.
I was like, it's the fucking plane.
So several people have reported this one, but I find this one, just the narrative dissonance of this one is funny, because there's one character, he's a vet, but he's the area doctor.
Veterinarian.
Yes, sorry, the veterinarian.
all the characters are
not a
vets.
military vet.
of some war.
But he's the area doctor,
Yeah.
because he's all that's left. And for some reason, he's taken upon himself, if I'm going to go do this mission that lands me in the middle of like a hot springs, tar pit type thing, sort of thing. And so he's standing in the middle of this. He's like, "Hey, it's probably really a bad idea for me to be out here, because I can't swim or anything." And this was my area where like Peggy's was like, we're gonna come fuck with you in this mission. So he's kind of hard enough to get to, just because of where he is. And he kept getting interrupted by Peggy's, and then would immediately run, jump right into the water, and swim away. And it was like, you just said you can't. Like literally just had that conversation with you.
Yeah.
But that dude, I ended up. Pro tip: if you ever get somebody stuck that they are so freaked out they don't want to talk to you, because he ran away, ran into the middle of a bliss field, was standing there. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to go talk to you and have this whole conversation standing in the bliss field, because that will be bad. So I threw a Molotov and was like, I'll set the field on fire, freak him out, and he'll run away again.
Nope, he'll just stand there and get lit on fire.
No, he ran away, but then he was like, at that point, he was so flipped out that he found an ATV, and I'd go over to try to talk to him, and he'd get on the ATV, and I'd be like, nope, commandeer, and he'd get off and like go to talk to me, and he'd hop right back on the ATV, and just like we were in this endless loop, just fast travel, like just find the nearest place and fast travel.
Yeah.
So secondary pro tip, when you're going through the perk system, obviously take the wingsuit and the grapple and things like that first, because you're going to need them to get around. I found, believe it or not, one perk I kind of overlooked is
You can wait a while on the wingsuit.
I don't know. Well, not
Especially if you're in John's area, there's not a lot of elevation there.
well. I was about to say,
Jacob's area,
unless
it's
you combine
useful.
it with what I'm about to say.
All right.
Which is there is one that says like there's an option to airdrop
Oh, yes.
instead of traveling.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Do that, because everything you should airdrop in, because then you don't need to go worry about where the point is. Just get near and wingsuit over to where it is, and you can get places super fast.
That
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That makes a ton of sense.
Because it's basically that Just Cause 3 of just like, yep, I'm going to start up here and I will just wingsuit over where there's not a fast travel right to the mission. And I mean, for like fishing spots that are 300 meters away from the closest thing, it was just like, yep, nope, wingsuit, yep, I'm right there.
Especially for anything where you have to climb, because that's maddening using that map, because then you do the thing you do in all video games, where you just try to diagonally jump up the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the grass? I know I can walk on the grass part of this mountain.
My favorite is ones where like you can walk up the mountain, but a vehicle won't let you.
Yeah.
Like so this powerful ATV, like
Yeah,
the most
the
powerful
ATV just spins its
Yeah,
wheels.
it just spins its wheel, but I get off and I'm like doop 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 doop.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, all right. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's still a fun sandbox game. It's just
It's
one.
good video game game.
It is
in
one of the
a lot
most
ways.
infuriating narratives
Yeah.
I've ever
It
played.
is, but I still feel Far Cry 4 is better.
Agreed.
I think this one captures the area, the feel of that area really well.
I love the setting. The
yeah,
setting's
and
great.
that it's these little shit town America, which you always wonder why these people are so proud about America when like
They have nothing.
these little towns are kind of shit,
Yeah.
but they capture that stuff really, really well. And just driving down these roads that are suddenly military zones out of nowhere. Like, they captured that stuff well, but there's just stuff that 4 I liked better. I liked the collecting better as far as the hunting goes, and like, okay, I need to craft this so I can hold more arrows.
Sure. Well,
Where this one, it's basically
it
just
feeds on that Red Dead thing, like that.
Yeah.
You know, we like that.
Yeah, whereas this one, you skin something, and all you're going to do is get more money for it. You know, and that kind of takes the fun out of so much of, all right, well, this is what I need to unlock this. And yes, there is stuff like, it's like, okay, I need to do this challenge to unlock this at the store, or I need to do this mission to unlock this fishing rod.
Yeah.
But in general, I just don't like that it's like, all right, I skinned 5 bears. Here's $250.
It sort of disincentivizes the hunting and fishing, I feel.
Yeah.
Which the fishing is really good. I
like the fishing
I really
a lot.
enjoy the fishing. It's a very satisfying mechanic. But my only incentive to fish, aside from wanting to fish, is to finish the collection quest, basically, to get the really good rod and reel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have no more incentive to fish, even though I will have finally gotten the best rod and reel.
You're in that pattern. I mean, I'm very much guilty of it, of that Diablo thing. It's like I am doing things to get more loot to do more damage when I'm already doing a shitload of damage. You know.
Yeah, I have the third rod and reel.
But if you enjoy the mechanic, you know, it's that's what I'm saying.
I like doing the fishing because the fishing's cool.
It is cool.
My last pro tip is just power through the story. You can go and do everything when it's over, and then you won't have planes and shit bugging you.
However, if you actually care about doing all of the story missions, if you do the final mission and you haven't done all of the story missions, there are some that will go away.
Are there?
That you don't. Yes,
because I have not encountered that. I mean,
there are
almost every scenario. Like I'm not going to be spoiler, but let's say a character is murdered in the story. I'm not going to say who, but let's face it, some good guys are going to die.
Yeah.
If they die, the people have been like, hey, they wanted you to do this.
Okay, well, these were like there were some with John where they said there's some kind of vehicle, I forget the name of it, but like it's on the roads, we need to take it out. And I didn't do that. I ended up doing the last mission, and that mission went away.
Revelator?
Yeah, the Revelator. That's the one. I never saw what the Revelator did or anything. I don't know if it unlocked anything, but
no, it does not. I don't think.
Yeah, but either way, that mission was gone. So if if you actually care about doing all of those little missions, which you know you shouldn't really.
The vehicle ones are not really.
Yeah.
Story,
but sometimes, but that stuff will go away if you know that you've been offered the final mission, and
you can still buy that car in the garage.
Yeah,
so you don't lose content really, and they're not very story driven.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I mean, but
it is. Yeah, they
We've done a lot of bitching, but we've all put like at least 20 hours in.
Yeah, we're all over 20 hours.
Yeah, so it's not like you're not going to get your money's worth out.
I dare not count.
I'm just saying, like, if you're in that stage where like you're doing stuff, but the planes are circling, just finish it. Like, get the fuck out of there because you're just going to drive yourself.
Yeah. And you get more money for doing the missions after you've been there.
Yeah, you get a region clear bonus. So
yeah,
I would say like hit the story missions and save all the side stuff. Like you don't have to do the outposts at all, as long as you get enough resistance points to.
And the story missions.
I'm probably going to reset the outpost because, you know, just for fun, and I still need to get a few. Well, I need one specific kill. I still need to get sabotage kills, which takes a fucking miracle of putting, you know, a Rube Goldberg thing together to make somebody stand next to a car.
I accidentally got that. There was like a caravan of trucks that had all kind of collided into each other, and they were all just kind of stuck in that video game. Like, we can't figure out how to 3-point turn and get out of this. So I just sabotaged one truck, and it blew up like 4 trucks in a chain reaction, and all the dudes died. And I was just like,
all right.
Yeah.
Nice job.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's almost going to take like the video game breaking.
Yeah. So I don't know if you could sabotage a truck, get in it, and then drive it, and then just push off.
well, there's sabotage, and then there's another one where it's like trap it or something.
Booby trap.
Booby trap, yeah, because like the next thing it hits, it will blow up.
Oh.
And I don't know if that will count as a saboteur kill or not, or if it has to be the sabotage move.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah. That could work.
Yeah.
I don't have many problems with this game at this point, but one problem I do have, the weaponry in this game. I don't know what it is, but Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 3 and Far Cry Blood Dragon, it felt like the progression on the weaponry was a lot more what's the word for it?
It's just you're getting bigger and better.
It was a lot more linear.
Yeah.
And it was also more distinctive between each gun had its thing that it did. In this, I feel like each gun is just a mild improvement over the last. Like, and there were a lot more unique things in Far Cry 4 that you could use. This, it's just like, and I know that 89% of the guns in this country are ARs, but it feels like all of the guns in this are, it's like
kind of feel
55
like
ARs.
that's on purpose. It's just Montana's littered with guns, and they're
Yeah.
all the same fucking gun, so.
But then again, like, you have 2 or 3 shotguns, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, a couple sniper rifles that all feel most like both classes of sniper rifle. They're basically 2 classes. There's like a 50 cal, and then there's a regular-ish sniper rifle.
Yeah.
And the smaller ones feel about the same, and the bigger ones feel about the same. And it.
Well, I will say, because like I was using the gold edition 50 cal sniper that it comes with, but that one's bolt action, and there's another one that you can buy that's semi-automatic.
Right.
It's worth the
Outrageous price.
well, no, I'm just saying it will do a little bit less damage, but being able to go, poof, 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 like very quickly,
Right.
is worth it. So,
but there's such small differences where I felt like in Far Cry 4 there were a lot of differences. Like, I was running a lot more varied loadouts. You know, I would switch my loadouts often, and in this I've kind of just settled down to basically a pistol, bow, AR, or it's not AR, it's an AKM, and the big-ass sniper rifle. And that's pretty much what I run for every situation now, as opposed to in 4 I would get the big LMG out for some things, or I'd get a shotgun out, or the Vector. Felt like the differences between those were way more important than in this. Everything feels kind of samey in this.
Yeah, this one it just feels like you put a suppressor and whatever scope you want on it, and you're pretty much, and the bigger magazine, and you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
yeah.
And you can
And-
just buy those immediately. It's not
Right.
like you even unlock them.
And the whole prestige skins thing on the, like, there are separate weapons that are prestige versions of other weapons that just cost a bunch of money or silver, and it's all it is a skin. It's just a skin. There's nothing different between the prestige and anything else. And that skin that should really just be part of the skins menu. I feel like I don't know who redesigned this, the firearm system in Far Cry 5, but it really feels like they missed some of what made Far Cry 4's really, really good.
Yeah.
So, but having said that, the gunplay is really good in this game. Like, I feel like it was hard for me to say that statement within the first 3 or 4 hours, because you
don't have a lot of guns.
You don't have a lot of weapons, and it just doesn't, like, you're not used to how Far Cry does guns. But now, like, I'm a fucking murdering machine. It is everything, all my Far Cry muscle memory has come back, so I'm back used to how things feel and move in this game, and I am a fucking murdering fool once again. And it's really satisfying. Everything works well. The spotting system, I think, is slightly better. And
I really enjoy that. I enjoy just hiding behind a rock and sending my dudes in to murder everyone in an outpost. I think
just don't use them enough.
I
let them auto do most of the things that they're going to do, but
Yeah.
otherwise I'm like up top sniping people. Tends to be what I end up doing.
I just hide, pull out the binoculars, spot everybody, send my 2 goofballs in to do whatever, and then kind of watch them fuck around for a minute and a half before they get to wherever. Like, they're doing like serpentine motions throughout the house. Like, dude, just get to the room. What the fuck are you doing? And then they'll run up and hit the person with the butt of their gun. I'm like, you've got a fucking gun. Use it. What are you doing? Murder that man.
Are you using just the regular local Yahoos or the special ones?
I usually have a mix of one of the special ones and one of the local Yahoos.
No local yahoos. Get rid of the local yahoos.
The local yahoos have their perks. Like you'll get full health when they revive you, or one of them will pick flowers for you while you're not paying attention.
Ooh.
You need that stuff.
There is one that'll help you hold more ammo.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've
That's
all
what
I didn't
got
know that
weird ass perks.
I use Boomer and Peaches almost exclusively. Like, Boomer is my spotting boy.
Yeah.
I'll just send him to run through an outpost, and nobody gives a shit about Boomer. Like, this is my dog. This dog has been with me for 18 hours of this game.
Yes.
Like, this is my boy. Everybody should know that this is my boy.
Yep.
I love that you revive him just by petting him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Peaches
same thing.
too.
Same thing with Peaches.
You
And
just
with-
rub Peaches' belly, and she's like, "Huh? What? All right, let's fucking murder again."
Also, can I just say that Cheeseburger is the best name for a bear?
It is. Yeah.
for a giant murder bear.
Yeah.
yeah,
With a little
it's pretty good.
beanie on.
Yeah, Cheeseburger.
Yep.
Cheeseburger's awesome. But, like, people should know that if you see this blue healer, you about to get sniped.
Yeah.
Like, you should be expecting a bullet in your fucking dome in the next 10 to 20 seconds. Or you should also expect a tawny cougar, not Tawny Katane, to come up behind you and bite your goddamn neck off.
Yep.
Because that's what I use Peaches for. Like, Boomer spots, and then Peaches will go person by person
Yep.
throughout the outpost. Also, Peaches ain't fucking around when there are other animals. Like,
Oh, no.
If an animal comes after you, Peaches is going to kill it.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Like-
Peaches loves you.
I like that Boomer will pick a fight with anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's usually not good, but
Yeah.
Boomer don't care.
Also, I like that the one unique weapon you get in the game is from. Is it Larry? Is the guy's name? The crazy
Yeah, Larry.
Yeah, he's like a crazy scientist dude.
He's the
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
9/11 truther. Yeah.
No, that's Zip.
Yeah.
Zip is the
Zip's
crazy.
the 9/11 guy.
They look similar. Their hair is
Oh,
similar.
right,
but-
right,
Larry's the
Yeah,
guy who
you're
wants to
right.
time
Yeah,
travel.
but Larry basically leaves you the Half-Life gravity gun, except you can only do the whole thing where it pulses out and
Called
pops
the
out.
Magnopulsar.
Yeah. I cracked Jen up so bad. She was on the phone with her mom, and we had it muted, and I was running around, and this skunk came up to me, and I just went, poof, and the skunk went flying into the air about 45 yards,
Uh-huh.
and then landed, and then came right back at me and sprayed me.
Yeah.
So I did it again, and
Classic
it immediately
Far
red misted that skunk.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you're close, and it will do that to dudes too. By
Yeah.
the way,
On the second hit, or
sometimes the first. If you're
Yeah.
close enough, it will pulp them immediately.
nice.
You can't loot them, obviously.
Right, because
But-
all of they've been atomized.
However, you can't do that to bears, as I learned because when I was fishing, I got attacked by a bear,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Fuck it, man! I need to catch this sturgeon." And
I know that feeling.
yeah,
I really.
and I'm like trying to reel it in, and Jen's like, "You're being attacked by a bear." I'm like, "I don't care. This is a world record sturgeon on the line right now. I'm reeling this fucker in."
The Admiral? Were you hunting the Admiral?
No, it was not the Admiral at that time, but I reeled it in, and then turned around, and the bear had killed like my dog, and it had killed the kind fisherman who was there, who always gives you
there are
life
85
advice.
kind fishermen, and I
know.
wish they would all
It
shut
had
the
murdered
fuck
him,
up.
And then the bear was like, "Oh, so now you're done fishing," and comes after me. So I used
'Cause
that
you smell
gun,
like sturgeon.
and I just kept bouncing him in the air. If you want to bounce a bear in the air, you can just keep doing it with that gun over and over, and it will not kill him. I don't know what it takes to kill him, but I mean, I was fucking around so much, I was popping him, and it would stun him. And then I just pulled out my fists and just started punching this bear. And then I
That's
popped
how
him
you
in the air.
melee
Yeah.
a bull to death or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Do you want the secret to killing a bull to death with your bare hands?
It's use furious.
Yeah, and don't buy the brass knuckles.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. But one hit, it goes down. That is also fun when you are being attacked by dudes and you're on that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And
just,
you're just fucking launching
Yeah.
them into the stratosphere.
yeah, you're like Red Alex Jones. You're just like, I'm coming to get you.
Punch.
Yep.
Orbit.
Yeah.
So I picked up the Magnopulse, and I'm like, fucking around. What does this do? And just blong, blong, blong. And I hear noise sort of behind me, and I'm like, it's just, Boomer, and I was running with Boomer and Grace at that point. I'm like, that's just Boomer and Grace fucking around. They're having a good time. And so I turn around, I'm like kind of ready to go, and I'm like, all right, well, where are they? And I look behind me, and they're getting up off the ground. I'm like, was that the Magnopulse? I was pointing this. I was pointing the other direction. And so I looked at them and pointed slightly to the side and hit the magnet balls, and just Boomer and Grace just fucking took off, just tumbling across the tarmac.
I feel really bad because one of the first prepper stashes, I think it's the one that's on what's his face's island, little private island. Boomer got stuck in the doorway, like sideways, or no, it was Peaches. Peaches got stuck in the doorway sideways, and so I couldn't go in the door, and I was like. I didn't have many companions at that time. I was like, what do I do? Do I dismiss it and wait like 2 minutes for it to come back? And I was like, I'm going to shotgun him and then revive him. I'm like, I feel terrible, but I'm
You're in my way, Peaches.
yeah, I was like, oh man, come on. I have to shotgun my cougar. But I'll revive you. I promise I will revive you. But
I have accidentally murdered so many of my companions. Grace has a really bad habit of walking in front of me right as I'm taking my shot.
Yep.
So Grace probably has, I don't know, 5 or 6 rounds in her head.
just rattling around in there.
Yeah, just
There, but by the grace.
I appreciate that Boomer is an actual dog and will keep walking in front of the car if you hop in the car and try and take off.
Yeah, he won't get in the car, but he's like, I'm going with you, and he'll just either be right behind you when you're backing up or right in front of you when you're trying to speed off.
Have you encountered the... I mentioned sort of about the psycho drivers. Have you encountered, like, you'll just find a section of road where it just seems like it's constant, get the fuck out of my way driver after another?
Yes,
Like,
they are determined to get wherever they're going.
there was somewhere, and there was like 3 Peggies I was trying to kill and a bear, and I was like, I'm going to take all these guys down, and Boomer is just running around, just constantly getting hit by cars. It was
sometimes you just got to let them...
Yeah, I was just like, I feel so
It's the only
horrible.
way
Like,
you're gonna
stop,
learn.
stop staying in the road, Boomer.
So,
I don't have a pet cemetery.
you mentioned getting hit by cars.
Uh-huh.
I think we need to move on.
Oh, okay.
But BJ's going to destroy this seg.
Absolutely. 2 things before we move on. One, before they fix whatever Harlow hates about the game, they need to patch in Boomer riding in vehicles.
Yeah, jump in.
Especially
And-
like a pickup truck. Just hop in the back, boy.
Absolutely. And 2, my worst Boomer car accident was 4 miles an hour. I was trying to turn around. Boomer ran in front of me, and I clipped him, and he just went. Like 40 yards. Just a dog tumbling through the air.
Poor little fella. You probably kept up for like half a mile or so.
Well,
Speaking of
speaking
tumbling
of hitting
through the
things
air.
with a car and getting tumbled through the air,
Right?
There we go.
There we go. Save the seg.
we can reach our quota of speaking about Burnout Paradise right now.
Yay.
Once again, Burnout
Wait.
Paradise
Oh,
Remastered.
I was going to say, we're going to remaster this talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
we
new-
won't.
it's a new
we
game.
won't talk about Burnout Paradise.
No.
but we will talk about Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Different
we will.
game. Different game.
Hey, I got a news flash for you guys.
Hey.
Burnout Paradise is still fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It is still the greatest driving game to ever grace this earth.
I have a news flash. I have my Paradise license, or whatever the hell it is.
Your Burnout Elite,
Elite? No, I don't have that one. I don't have, like, I have the... What the fuck is it called?
the Burnout license.
Burnout
license.
license.
Okay.
Yep.
For the first time ever in this game.
Really? You
Really?
never got it on previous gen?
I thought I shared that bit of shame the last time that
Ah.
I've played many hours of this, but it's almost always been co-op,
Yep.
which,
Yeah.
you're not doing any progress with that.
I am 15 away from my Elite license.
Wow.
I've already gotten my Elite license twice, so...
Oh, you got it already in the new one?
No, I've done
Oh.
it on...
Okay, yeah.
Done it twice.
Man. Like, I
That doesn't mean anything. It's a new game.
Right. I did it twice in the old game.
Yeah, I devoured this game.
Yeah.
Like it came out, and I was like, I'll play a lot of this. And then it was just like, for some reason, Jen was just like, hey, I got to do a lot of work, so if you just want to play your game all weekend, that's cool. So she went in the office and started doing work, and I was like, this is the best day of my life. And I proceeded to find all of the smashes, all of the billboards, and all of the super jumps basically within like 4 days of the game coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember being really surprised that you had finished all of those so fast.
Yeah. I fucking consumed this game. And I realized about it, like, we bitch about remasters and all that, especially like early on in the generation. We're like, why is everything a fucking remaster?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was those games had come out like a year or two before that.
Right.
This is the perfect amount of time.
It's also the perfect game.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that Burnout Paradise is, I mean, it's not perfect, and I realize some of those imperfections in replaying it, but it's still my favorite racing game, if not the best racing game of all time. And having been 10 years now since it came out, already 10 years, which is pretty fucking weird to think about as it is, but really a solid 6 years since we were in our big phase of let's do multiplayer, let's do all the stuff. And I got my, the 1250 achievements in it. It's just enough time to be able to go back in and go, I don't remember this, but I kind of remember this. Like certain muscle memory comes back, like you were talking about with Far Cry, and just like being able to rediscover and relearn that whole area and fall in love with it all over again.
Yeah.
Like the period of time that had lapsed had to have been like the perfect amount of time, because I'm like, yes, I'm ready to do this. Like if they did Red Dead Remastered before Red Dead 2 comes out, like say they said next month, they're like, guess what, man, Red Dead Redemption Remastered, I'd be like, yep, you know what, 7-8 years, that's right about enough time that I would probably play that again.
I'd be afraid to be Red Deaded out by the time came out, though, or
Yeah.
by the time 2 came out.
Yes, yeah, I mean, yes.
That's the only
but-
problem there.
But I guess what I'm saying
yeah.
is, like, it's enough time
yes.
that a game I absolutely love and fucking devoured last time, I'd be ready to do it again.
Sure, yeah, I get that sentiment.
Yeah.
Because they've been teasing that they might do something with Red Dead Redemption, like a remaster PC port, finally something. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, granted, it's not that great a remaster unless you have 4K, I guess. But even then, I buy the look.
Burnout
that's the
Paradise
thing that we talked
looked
about before
so
they released
good
it.
and ran so good
Yeah,
to
the
begin
360
with.
version is fantastic.
Yeah.
It runs at 60 frames.
Yeah.
Still.
So it's, you might go into this and go, I don't see it, I don't get it.
I think it's because you're going to become spoiled. I mean, watching those side-by-side videos of arguably the best version, the PC version, side by side, it's like, oh yeah, look at all the anti-aliasing they did
Yeah.
and fixes
Yeah.
and, extra particle details and stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, just saying, average people are going to be like, yeah, this looks better. No, it looks significantly. The draw distances are way better. There's not really pop in like there was in the past.
I also think you're just going so goddamn fast
Yeah.
that you can't you can't even really pay attention to your car the whole time, because you've got to look at street signs, you've got to look at where if you're chasing another car, where it's turned. It's just all going so fast, it's just a blur anyway. So it's a nice looking blur, and it's speedy. So
Yeah.
It's strange because maybe it seems like the shimmer wore off a little bit, not of the game. I'll explain what I'm saying. But the first time I popped into Showtime mode, I swear on the 4K TV, I was like, is this running at like 120 frames a second? Like, I just maybe it is because the game is just so constantly in motion that like slow down, take a look at all the details thing of hitting Showtime for the first time was just like unbelievably gorgeous looking for some strange reason. I'm not resolution bragging here. I'm just saying like something about getting the 4K thing with the X. It was like, holy shit! It was like this looks amazing. Why does this look so much better than the rest of the game? Kind of thing. Like I said, it is probably just the way it renders and slows down and lets you actually look at everything.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad there's so much quality of life stuff that people still didn't really know about, because they didn't really change anything. Like, they took 2 songs out that I don't remember what the songs were.
Yeah.
But
All the Gillette vans are gone.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
all the
All the
advertising
diesel
is,
vans
yeah,
are gone.
it's
Yeah.
just like a Criterion.
Well, there's like a meat van.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the billboards that were advertisements just say Criterion
Yeah.
Games on them now.
But there's like some weird. What is the lady? There's a lady that's like, is it a law firm or something?
Something like that. Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
weird. Must be somebody's girlfriend or something.
Maybe.
It's
I
got to
don't
be, but
I don't know.
There's
yeah.
also like honey shakes or honeybee shakes or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
a couple of goofy products they've thrown in
Like,
there.
I was
but-
like, is that a real thing that they're trying to get off the ground with
Yeah.
some like cheap Criterion? I kind of wish they would throw some ad stuff back in there.
I don't
think
mind
it. Would
it.
Be,
I really don't.
think it would be fine.
yeah.
it helps build the world
Yep.
better.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a generic place. But
I do miss the Gillette vans.
yeah, but I mean, the physics are weird in that, especially when you're doing something like Marked Man or Aggression, where like you just flat out can lose control of your car completely. Like brakes no longer work, gas and steering no longer work. Like if they just hit you the right way, your car is going to crash. And there are some, missions later on, some races where it's just like that becomes infuriating, but that's only really tends to show up if you're going for your elite license at the end and you're doing like specific burning routes that are just like you have one path and you have to be boosting this entire time on this path. And then sometimes like it won't tell you the right way. There's one specifically, the Hot Rod Coupe. Pro tip, if you're doing the burning route, do not follow their instructions because it will steer you down. You're supposed to end in the top left corner, basically where you start the game. That, because I had forgotten that it's set up basically with the 8 points around the compass.
Right.
I'm sorry, explain this compass.
Yeah. North is the one on top. But, when
North is the one on top.
Yeah.
Race northwest of the observatory.
Yeah. Oh, God, I've heard that so many times now. But yeah, like, you're going to end your race on one of 8 spots on the map. And that one in particular, they will send you to the southeast as soon as you start, even though you need to be in the northeast. And if you don't make the first left that's offered, even though they will keep trying to steer you back to the other road, don't, because you will never, ever make it trying to go the way they tell you. But
there's like the ones that pretty much like if you follow the GPS on-screen instructions, they will lead you to I-85. It's like, no, never go to I-85 when I'm on a burning route, ever.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Because you can never get off of I-85.
Not in one
Ever.
piece.
I-88.
Yeah,
I-88.
sorry.
yeah. IG-88.
Yes.
Wait. Oh, wait.
Is that IG-88?
No, I-88.
I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, yeah, so it's kind of frustrating that these are your spots to end a race. Like, it's always going to be one of these spots. So your races tend to filter into, all right, which road am I going to hit?
Which big straight feeder road am I going to find
because there are
that'll
certain
take me
roads,
fast?
like, unless you're looking for smashes and other stuff, you'll never be on them. And that's a little strange, but I also kind of like that because it's more of, all right, I'm exploring and I'm finding this.
Right.
But, yeah.
The good thing about the way the game is set up is that you will still find those roads if you are in pursuit of completion, which is a thing that you should do, because you'll find those roads for doing showtimes and whatever the speed thing is called.
Oh, the road rules?
Road rules, yeah.
Which also was glitched at launch.
Yeah.
Because there were some, like, there's this mountain road in the way west that is, like the actual time it should be like 1 minute and 45 seconds, and it gave you like 10 seconds.
I was going really fast.
Yeah. And then like, and you got erased, and then,
Oh, I got erased?
and then BuzzClick Cal Sculthorpe, who actually showed up in the Giant Bomb stream in the same way, so he must be friends with whoever they were too. He was showing up on all mine like as even less time than BJ, and I'm like, the fuck? So then I had to shut it off, and I think it's corrected now because like I was able to set times on those roads again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was busted originally, and I'm like, how? Like, how did you fuck that up, guys? This is a port basically.
Yeah.
Like how did you not get it right?
They didn't carry the one, or
Yeah.
flipped the wrong dongle.
Yeah. But that game's still great. My advice to people that pick it up and have never played Burnout before, or Burnout Paradise at least before, don't do any of the premium cars, don't do any of the DLC stuff. Just drive the cars that they give you right off the bat.
Yep.
And do the burning routes first.
Well,
Because those carry over. You have to hit a certain number of races in order to up your license each time. And you will, if you don't do the burning routes you do them once and they're unlocked and you're good. If you do the other ones, you'll have to redo that one again later. So you're better off just doing as many burning routes as you can after you crash cars and add them to your garage, so that that's just the easiest progression to me to move on quickly.
the other reason, the hidden reason for not using one of the like legendary cars or something like that is you think, well, look at how much more powerful and fast and all these things are, but the enemies match.
Yeah.
So you're actually doing yourself a disservice. You're like, yeah, I have a fast car, but everyone else will be that much faster too. So by doing the starter cars, you're going to teach yourself better.
Yeah, you don't learn, damn it.
Well, because you're starting you're starting an elite class. Like you're running a top end car and you have top end enemies, but you've just started the game. And I think that's honestly probably what happened with me before. Is just like, I'm getting in the DeLorean, fuck this shit, and I'm using this for everything. And I was just like, man, I'm just losing, and I think I got frustrated with it. This is why I was like, I'm going to pretend none of the DLC cars are there, just taking what they give me, run through it, burning route, unlock a new one, burning route, unlock a new one, burning route. Okay, and next thing you know, I'm Paradise license and or Burnout license. I may go for the Elite license. That might be too much. Because I got to be honest, I don't like Marked Man or... Oh, yeah, I really don't like Marked Man. That's probably the
Marked
only
Man
one.
is the worst one.
I just don't like that. I mean, I can road rage events all day. All day and a half. I mean, I would reset road rage events and do them again. I mean, you can do them whenever you want, but just like that's my jam.
Yeah.
Stunt runs, they get a little boring because I have like 3 places I go, no matter where I am on the map. I will just boost chain my way to the bridge or the quarry or whatever,
All right, chain my way over here, hang 1.5 million points. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're fun, but yeah, I just have like 4 places I know to go. Like, oh, I'm in this area. Well, here's the best place to get the points.
Yeah.
Boardwalk.
Yeah.
But God, the aggression stuff is so good. Like the crashes, that's really what makes the game so good. Is when you wreck somebody and you just see them barreling off the side of a mountain, just their car just shredding as it goes. Yep. And the same thing with yours. Like even though if you're trying to do a burning route and you nick that one car that's on the side of the road and your car just explodes and that's like the longest 8 seconds of your life waiting for that crash to end.
Or the worst is it says drive away and you're facing the wrong
driveways
direction.
are even worse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also pro tip. They do not tell you during any of the menus or anything that if you hit right on the D-pad, that will bring up like restart event, restart last event.
Yep.
Because that was not in the original version of the game. That was added later. So that's why it's not in any of the tutorials.
Yeah.
And
that's
just pretend it's not there and live our pain.
No.
Well,
no, the game's a lot more fun if you can just do a restart, especially some of those burning routes that are like, all right, you're in the southeast corner, go to the northwest corner. In 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Go the speed of light.
Yeah. But
drive in flash time.
And I love that we just made so much fun of DJ Atomica, but he is like...
Oh, he's
a bro. He's a total bro.
He's latter-day Mark the Ninja, man. He's just like, hey, you know how to do stuff?
I love his little stories, too. Like, if you lose, sometimes he's like, yeah, man. Sometimes when you do these races, you pick the wrong car.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just not... You might need a stunt car for this. Just like he... And he'll also just be like, man, I saw a couple guys. They were just smashing through billboards. Like they took this crazy jump and smashed a billboard. I might have to do that later.
Yeah. He's always talking about what he's going to do when he gets off work.
But hey, that's Paradise City.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is that one. Usually it's when you like lose a marked man. He's like, this guy was going like a bat out of hell until some other guy came up and just wrecked him.
But hey,
that's life in
Paradise City.
Yeah.
I like all through the years we have tried to convey that he is just the most annoying asshole, and he is just the most helpful. Like, hey man, it's all right. Get another car, try a different road. You can do it.
He's still a lot more animated than you guys are voicing him. But but he's
not fucking mellow or anything.
Yeah, but compared to our previous characterizations,
he's
before
more like
it was
DJ Tony Robbins Atomica, because it's just like, hey, motivation guy, get out there and drive better.
Do some stuff.
Well, I will be purchasing SSX3 when it comes to Xbox backwards compatibility in like a week.
Yeah.
And that is prime DJ. That is the DJ Atomica that we think DJ Atomica is.
That's just it. We've grown up with DJ Atomica. we weren't ready for middle aged. I've relaxed DJ Atomica, and
he's got kids.
Yeah, but he just. I can't get over that. He gives you helpful stuff.
He does.
He's like
good guy Atomica.
He's like, hey, if you take a car through, if you've unlocked a new car, take it through a repair shop, and we'll show you where the burning route is.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, you don't have to unlock that. You just go through a repair shop, and then boom, the burning route will show up on your map for that thing.
Oh, I never actually. I don't think if he said that, I never paid attention.
Yeah.
That was just always the first thing I did anyway.
Because otherwise you can't get a new paint job.
Yeah,
I was about to say. I made
you got to paint your car purple or pink.
Yeah, I immediately was like, all right, I'm going to get this painted, and it was all busted. And it was like, repair your car first. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just start doing that by default.
Yeah, that's my routine.
Plus, they're usually so busted that they're like, like, oh, just start.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's a cute little touch. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that game's still fantastic. I mean, that I have no regrets whatsoever about spending that $40.
Nope.
Nah.
Worth every penny.
Yep, and that city is just, it's not as big as you think. Like there's times where it's like, man, I'm up in the fucking mountains, and like the thing I need is all the way down the bottom right.
I still get
but
annoyed.
it only takes you like 3 minutes to get there.
know.
at
I
most.
still get annoyed when it's like, go to the observatory because I'm like, oh, God damn it, there's nothing
Yeah.
up there. There's no other.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing I like is like, okay, go from like the southwest to the northeast. It's like, well, when I get to the northeast, there'll be plenty of things to do, and I'll just go back the other way. But it's like when you go to the observatory, it's like, hey, all right, drive a mile, and there might be an event. You know, that's the only thing. Is like I feel like it's not that it's not pretty, but like the events are super sparse out in the
I do
far west.
really like the driving up in the northwest.
absolutely,
I just
yeah.
hate.
Getting stuck up there with no event.
Yeah, I just hate going up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get done with a race, and I'm like, all right, well, I want to drive. You know, I want to drive down to the southeast and just be over there because I want to do a stunt run or something. That drive back is just magical until I get back into the city. That's when it all just. I like driving in the city, but those like long, curvy mountain roads and then 3 or 4 switchbacks, so satisfying, so super satisfying.
Getting back into this, I mean, because it carries over from the other Burnout games. I realized how much these games ruined me for other driving games because you just rocket around a corner and hit boost and you're immediately going straight.
Yep.
Yeah, like, and I remember trying to play like Forza and especially even more so like simulation Forza games before Horizon, and it was just like, you mean I gotta actually hit the brakes? Like,
Yeah.
when the line turns red, I should slow down. Ugh.
I should try playing Forza Horizon 3 right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
After like 30 more hours in Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, because like doing a power slide into like I'm almost going out of control boost and I'm straight, going straight again.
Yep.
That's super.
The physics are really dumb in
Oh,
that
they're-
game, but
absolutely.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. So
Yeah.
So
Let's move on.
if you had No Quarters talks about Burnout Paradise and it was a drinking game, we're sorry that you're dead now.
yeah,
Oh well.
but we're moving on.
Yeah, we are.
Something you did not expect us to talk about,
Uh-huh.
Chuck.
What?
Did you play a fighting game?
I did. I played a fighting game.
What?
I know. It's
What-
weird.
what
I don't
brought
like
this
fighting
on?
games.
Well, to be fair, you played Tekken, so you just banged on the buttons and won.
Listen, friend.
Oh, that was more of a dig at Tekken and other fighting games versus you.
So Tekken 7.
Uh-huh.
Is Eddie Gordo in it?
I have no idea.
The
Oh.
capoeira guy.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Banana
Okay.
waves.
Please talk about Tekken then.
I don't know. Okay. So I'm not a fighting game person, but on the PS1, Tekken 2 and 3 were my fighting games, and I played those religiously. Like, just that was like, friends come over, we're playing Tekken. And you could be the kangaroo, and I'll be the bear, or whatever. We'll just fucking fight. Because those games were goofy. So, like, over the years, certain fighting games speak to me, and others don't speak to me at all. Like, Street Fighter, I will never wrap my head around Street Fighter. Can't, for the life of me, play Street Fighter. Dead or Alive, Tekken, those games, I kind of get. Injustice, I get. Mortal Kombat, I don't get, and that's really strange. I don't understand that. But, so anyway, Tekken 7 was out, and it was on sale at Target for like $20. And this was kind of when I finished up listening to all the end of the year gaming stuff from 2017. A lot of people were talking about how cool Tekken 7 was, and I thought, I'll pick this up because when this sale is over, it'll go back up to full price pretty much everywhere, and I'll be able to get rid of it for more than I paid for it, and I'm not going to be out anything. And if I like it, that's cool, I'll keep it. And I spent an afternoon with it, playing like all of the content you can play without another human being.
Okay.
And I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Did you get goofy endings? Does Tekken still have weird endings?
God, yes. Tekken 7 has a bunch of just
Yeah.
weird ass
Yeah.
But there's this over story going through the whole thing where some character from Street Fighter is in this and is like the big bad somehow.
Again, Bison, Akuma.
It might be Akuma.
Okay.
Big beardy man.
Well,
maybe.
Akuma's more like spiky anime hair. And,
Maybe.
All right.
I think it's Akuma.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know my fighting men's.
Kuma's from Street Fighter.
I know. He
Yeah.
said there's a Street Fighter.
There's a Street Fighter
villain
character
in
who's
this.
like the big bad of this.
And what? In Tekken?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's not Street Fighter Cross Tekken?
No, it's weird. So there's that bit of weirdness, and also like they try to tie together all of the Tekken stories over the years into some sort of cohesive timeline. And the way they do it is that they use cutscene footage from the older games. So every once in a while, you will just see some PS1 ass Tekken fight going on in someone's dream, and you're just like, man, what the hell is this? And so the presentation of it is really goofy and fun, and the fighting stuff is it clicks with me, and I guess it's because it's a button masher. But I felt like I wasn't just lucking out on things. I had my move set to where like I know I can do this and block that, and I was actually doing it, you know. Whereas like I play Killer Instinct, I'm like, man, this game is kicking my ass. I don't know how to play Killer Instinct. So
man, back in the day I could get that like 30-point combo with Orchid or whatever.
Yeah, but
I've tried the one on Xbox One.
I can't get out of the tutorial. I think we both have the same.
Here. I cannot get out of the tutorial.
It's like you got to do this one combo, and I'm like, I can't do it, so I guess I can't play the game. But
so all right, so story mode, is it like Injustice, Mortal Kombat, where you're going to get a taste of all the characters?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're telling me at no point did you see a guy and you were like, he's doing capoeira?
Maybe, I don't know.
How do you not know that?
There's 100 characters in these things.
Isn't there also like Christie? I think is the other.
But it's like you remember what capoeira is, right?
Yes, it's either capoeira or drunken boxing or one of those things.
No, drunken boxing is different.
He dances before, like while his idle animation is he's capoeira.
I can't help you.
All right,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to Google it since you're
I wasn't prepared for that question. I apologize.
Banana way.
Yeah. I understand the concept of it. I don't remember if that's what happened during Tekken 7. I really don't. But yeah, I just, I played it. I got all the single player achievements you could possibly get without being a fucking maniac, and like win 1,000 solo matches. I'm like, and then I went online.
And you got destroyed.
No.
Why would you do that?
I didn't, because they do a very good matchmaking system to where it matches you up to people that you might have a chance to beat. And I won a few matches online.
Hey, hooray, Chuck,
yeah.
good job.
And then I was like, let me turn that filter off and see what happens.
Oh, God.
And I got fucking wrecked. Like, in a blur. Like, I just, like... And I was just like, what is my controller busted? Is my internet lagging? What's happening?
Did it flash a big 45-hit combo above their head?
It was over in 12 seconds, and I was just like, man, they just got an achievement for just fucking punking my ass. So,
Good for them.
But I had an enjoyable afternoon with Tekken 7. If this was like a Games with Gold or something like that, I would gladly, re-download it.
Did you get it on disc? Or did you
I got it on disc.
Did you already get rid of it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
Sorry.
You're supposed to tell me these things, Chuck.
Sorry.
And yes, Eddie Gordo. Apparently, there's 40 playable characters.
Okay, that sounds right.
I thought you were going to say there were 40 Eddie Gordos. I was going to be fucking amazed.
Eddie Gordo
There's a group of Gordos. No,
84.
Eddie Gordo is back because there's. At first, I was looking at the list and it was like that doesn't look like 40, and it goes returning fighters. So he's just down in there in the scrubs that have been around for a while.
Right. I think.
But yes, it is Akuma as the Street Fighter
Okay.
daddy who's there.
So whoever the big Tekken bad guy is hates Akuma, and they fight.
That dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Heihachi.
Yeah. Who apparently is dead, but also not.
But he got thrown into a volcano, and then I guess he came back.
Yes.
Or was that Jin who came back as
no?
Devil Jin?
He threw his son into the volcano.
Yes.
Who then came back
as Devil Jin.
Right.
Okay.
But also regular.
Oh, regular Jin is
because
also
he has to fight Devil. It's fucking madness. I mean, it is just constant. Like people will be in a boardroom and robots wearing berets will come in and murder everyone, and then Akuma will walk in and is like, "This is my corporation now," and then some guy will stand up and go, "No, we fight," and and it's like
so. They took hostile takeover literally.
Yeah, they did.
I like it.
I guess there are some versions. I guess Street Fighter V version of Akuma, he does have like a lion's mane beard.
Oh.
It's just his anime beard goes all the way around his head.
No, he doesn't have that in Tekken. The Tekken is respectful to the Akuma.
So it's more like this guy?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, more like that.
Well, you said beard, and I was like...
This is proper canon Akuma. I mean, come on.
So, I don't know.
We're probably saying it completely. It's probably like Akuma.
Probably.
Like something.
Sorry.
Whatever.
It's fun. It's a fun fighting game. You can have fun with it, and you can go online and maybe
I keep
beat up some
waiting for it
scrubs.
to go on sale.
Yeah,
and they keep discounting it on like the gold deals, but they never go far enough down for me to be like, all right, I gotta buy this.
I didn't
Because
even go,
Jen would play it.
Yeah.
Jen loves Tekken.
Yeah,
That's like the one game.
Yeah.
I will bring her out of retirement just so she can fucking murder me with. Is Yoshimitsu
First
in
match,
it?
she will fucking murk you.
I went off the.
I would put good money on that.
Yeah, because she was a Yoshimitsu main, and she will fucking destroy you.
okay.
I would actually really like to see that, like, brand new disc cracked open, put it in the machine, and watch her destroy you. I'd pay good money for that.
Hi, Yoshimitsu is back.
Yep.
Yes. Sure.
I think he's in all of them.
Okay.
Also Leo, because that's the lion dude, right? It is.
It's me, man.
Why not?
I don't
I mean,
know.
it makes sense. Leo.
Isn't there like Tiger and some other
Tiger.
people?
Tiger.
Yes.
So anyway,
There's somebody named Bob.
is he a great big fat
I
person?
don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, man.
Actually, I think yes. Bob's a great big fat person.
Yeah, I like it. All right, I'm going to wrap up this half, but I'm going to be pretty quick about it
Okay.
because we've talked a lot already, even though it's only 3 games.
Yeah.
Go figure. Indie Corner. That's just what I'm going to call this. It's an indie corner.
Okay.
A whole bunch of indie stuff went on sale. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some indie games. First one up. I saw it come up and I saw the name and I was like, all right, I'm buying this sight unseen because it's probably only like $3 at the time. Reagan Gorbachev. Which is basically Hotline Miami, except one of them is Reagan with a katana and the other one is Gorbachev with a deadly blow dart gun.
That makes sense.
Yes. And it is
Factually
done
accurate.
And it is done in that I kind of call it like the MCGA style. You know, that early 90s PC game look where it's kind of like dithered colors, but it's not quite pixel art, but more just kind of like that style. And it's overhead, and you are basically controlling the 2 characters. You can also do co-op, where one person controls one character, one person controls the other. Where if you do it single player, you're just switching between them with right bumper. And Gorbachev is the hacker who can hack into security systems and open doors. And Reagan is
And
more...
elections.
Yes. And Reagan is more of just like a lockpick type dude to get through doors. But it's kind of... It becomes a puzzle game of, all right, can I get by these guards and kill them all and escape the level? And they're very small, puzzly levels. And if you get behind a guard, you can stealth kill him. You don't even have to attack him. You just come up behind him and you auto kill him. But if they notice you, they'll do the whole Metal Gear exclamation point over the head and then come after you. And usually they'll just shoot you to death, and you know, so it's generally good not to get spotted. But they also, the cutscenes are just really great because they're that dithered style, and it's basically Reagan walking with a fucking katana sword next to his head, next to Gorbachev, and they're just discussing how much they hate each other, but how much they hate the guys who have captured them more. And, you know, it's basically 80s action movie type stuff. But they also throw in, Reagan's like, I need to get back to the land of the free. And Gorbachev's like, well, how come most of your minorities are in prison right now? You know, and they kind of
I get
do
it.
a little bit of that stuff going on too. And they also have trivia about them between levels. So they're like, this one has 5 children, and you have to choose whether it was Reagan or Gorbachev.
Mm-hmm.
It was Reagan. I got it wrong.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. It's kind of what you expect if you look at the screenshots of it. It is going to be a lot of that, but the soundtrack is pretty good. It's like that kind of like that Hotline Miami 2 thing where it's like just thumping techno almost.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. Speaking of thumping techno,
Uh-huh.
Butcher was the other game that I grabbed, which this one was a Zodiac motherfucker recommendation.
Okay.
Speaking of games that are designed to look like a early 90s PC game, complete with like health bar down the left side, status bar on the right side with like what weapon you have and everything. It is a side-scrolling like level platformer thing where the difficulty level is casual, hard, harder, hardest, impossible. This game is no fucking joke. But your job is you have basically been dropped on this space station, and your job is to exterminate everyone there.
Oh.
And you will shoot them with, if you've got enough shells with your shotgun, you will shoot them, and they will burst into just a shower of jibs, early Quake style, except it's all like very pixel art rendering. But yeah, in that similar MCGA, 320 by 200 or, maybe 640 by 480 looking resolution type thing. But that game's hard as fuck. And when you die, you start to level over. So yeah, it's kind of... I need to just put it on casual, because I tried to do hard because that seemed like the basic way to play the game. You know, like that seems to be the suggested level, because casual, they're just like, sure you really want to play it like this? Which, yeah, I think I do.
You filthy casual.
Yeah, because it's just really hard. You know, and I mean, you're aiming with the right stick while you're moving with the left, which, you know, works with top-down stuff, but it's more like a reticle on the screen, but it's not necessarily easy to aim, and it's tough to tell when you're about to shoot into a wall instead of at the guy you got to shoot. So, it was... I want to play more of it, but... it was really... it's really hard, and you have to be kind of in the mood for a game like that. However, the other game, I went from Butcher to Ruiner, which is a Devolver Digital game made in Unreal Engine 4. It's kind of an isometric viewpoint thing. So it's kind of like the Hotline Miami style, okay, I'm going through this area and clearing out dudes, but it's isometric, almost like Crusader No Remorse type look to it. But it's really nice stylized-wise. It's like black and red. And it's kind of like, you know, that whole Blade Runner universe type look to everything, that kind of techno-punk thing. And this is one where you are basically a dude wearing a Daft Punk mask that has the video screen on it. And you don't know what happened, but you just woke up and you were in this area and there's somebody going, kill the boss, that keeps flashing over the screen and what you're doing. And you are just going through levels, chopping dudes up with a katana, and shooting dudes with various weapons that you've picked up, which all have limited ammo. And
I like bullet time stuff.
Kind of?
Kind of. Yeah. I've played a little bit of this too.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, and you have if you hit left bumper, your guy will like kind of warp ahead and move really fast. And then you can, if you do an attack during that, you can fucking annihilate people. And it's kind of, I like it a lot. I'll say that. Like, the style goes a very long way, and it's a very, very good looking game for what it's doing, even though the levels are just kind of like little, you know, technological garages, so to speak. But I really want to play more of this. But, you know, you get out, you finish the level, and you find out that, you know, someone's hijacked your brain, and that there's this girl who's trying to help you. And all the dialogue is presented basically kind of like, you know, RPG Persona style, where it's like, all right, here's this hand-drawn picture of whatever the character is over their text that's in a bar across the bottom. So there's a lot of that. So there's no voice acting or anything, but it's...
Yeah, it's got style.
Yeah, it's got style, and it's got a story that I'm way more interested in than either of those other two games. So I'm definitely going to play more of that. And it's also weird, though, because it goes from being like feeling super easy, like every section every battle I was going in, I was S ranking, to all of a sudden just being like a C+, barely getting through it. And then the next one getting an A+ rank. So it was just kind of like this weird combination of, I don't know what I'm doing just yet. But there's a whole huge skill tree, and I know there's a whole bunch of levels. So I will definitely be playing more of that one.
Yep.
And the last one, which I got in a Humble Bundle, or the monthly Humble Bundle, was Aviary Attorney.
Uh-huh.
Which is basically Phoenix Wright, except you're a bird, and it's all done in basically a woodcut style, where the background is kind of a greenish yellow color, and there's black, and it looks like actual woodcut, ink pressed drawings. And you are a bird who is an attorney.
Huh.
And you have
Weird.
you have a sparrow who's your, I don't know what you'd call
Paralegal?
it. I guess you're paralegal.
Shouldn't it be like a
Parakeet
legal?
Guess what?
that joke is made already?
Or para-eagle.
Okay.
But he's not. He's not a bird of prey. He's a little sparrow. But
Sparrow legal.
Any pun you can make,
will be made.
they have already made it, and it is in the game.
So they're talented.
Yes, and they will point it out, and they will just kind of, and it works because your sparrow paralegal will say it, and then your main character will go, no, we're not doing this, and then he will just be like, what, and then continue with it anyway.
So it's like the Mackie and Harlow show.
Yes.
It kind of is. It's really well written. And it's basically, it's a Phoenix Wright game where you have to find enough evidence in a certain area by questioning all the people and inspecting the area, and then when you get to trial, using that evidence in ways that, deduces that, okay, here's what happened, and here's why you're guilty, that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you don't get an objection button, unfortunately, but yeah.
Boo.
Yeah. But I've done a couple cases worth of it, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I can recommend Aviary Attorney wholeheartedly.
Should I play Aviary Attorney?
Sure. I mean, it's basically like Phoenix Wright is kind of like what
I've never played a Phoenix Wright game.
It's basically what point-and-click adventure games kind of became that aren't Telltale. Like it's very much that whole, like almost, I don't want to say pixel hunt because it's not like that, but it's like just going to an area and finding all the items that are there and all the clues that are there and talking to all the people and going through all their dialogue trees and then using all of that once you get to the trial portion to, to give you the option to say, well, what about this cigar that you had earlier? This was found at the scene of the crime. And then the guy, oh, no, ha, 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 that sort of thing. Yeah. And I will say, Aviary Attorney, no dialogue. It's all written. It's all on-screen text. Because it doesn't
call
seem
my
like...
next witness.
But I'll say, like, the art is really beautiful in that game. Like, it's just really... Like, if you look at screenshots, it looks really great.
Maybe I should start streaming bird games.
Yeah,
Start with the
I don't
bird
know.
Yeah, I mean,
dating simulator.
I might play this. Lots of birds have mites.
Not good. Not good.
That's
Yeah.
a real problem with birds.
Yeah, but it is
learn
kind
the
of...
bird puns.
Yeah. It's basically, if you like puns, birds, or Phoenix Wright, you should probably play that game.
Yeah, I do.
And it's cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of disappointed. Like, I tried to look up stuff about them, about whoever developed it, and, check their Twitter and all that, and they basically stopped updating in, like, 2016, so
Oh.
I don't know what's up, but I think they're just
we all need to
gone.
buy Aviary Attorney so we can fund Aviary
would-
Attorney 2.
I would wholeheartedly recommend it. I'd recommend it over any of the other ones.
Badger Barrister. Bear Barristers. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say, not everyone's birds. You are birds, but like you're defending a cat who is on trial for,
why would a bird
for
defend a
murdering
cat?
for
Oh,
murdering
hell no.
a frog.
Oh, well, that's weird. You'd think it would have murdered a bird.
You would think
Birder.
that, but no.
Birder.
Yeah.
Birder of the first degree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your kind of game, Harlow.
Well, the funny thing is, I've tinkered with Phoenix Wright games. I've never completed one. I played more, coincidentally enough, of the Harvey Birdman game than I
Yeah.
did of any Phoenix Wright game.
He's an attorney
He is.
and a bird.
He is. I'm saying this seems like this is the next logical step because
Yeah.
I played a considerable amount of the Harvey Birdman game, which was a Phoenix Wright knockoff game.
Harvey Birdman.
Birdman at law.
Uh-huh.
Bird.
Okay. So on that note, let's take a break.
Okay. Let's fly away.
Yeah, I knew you were about to say that.
Dad.
Yeah. Fly for now. Let's take a peek.
Ooh, that sounded painful. I am very confused about what's happening in the chat. I have no idea what any of that meant.
Man, I don't know. Shit.
Yeah. Just gotta get into that Randy Orton thing. Then he'll understand.
It looks like Pulliam is also confused.
On this day, we are all
Yeah. Ah, my ears. Ah.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Yep.
Well, at least I know one thing. Second half will be a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah, you don't got nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. I got a few things. I think I'm talking a lot, though. I feel like I'm the only one talking.
Oh. He played Ruiner
Yeah.
and Birdman.
Yeah. It's Aviary Attorney, sir.
Sorry.
I love that we get that voice now all the time?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was kind of shocked at how good Ruiner looked.
Yeah, I was looking at screenshots of it. It's interesting visual looking.
Yeah, and it's really well lit. Yes. Yeah. That's what's crazy is like you can actually make a really good looking indie game pretty quickly if you license Unreal, basically.
Mm-hmm. What? I don't know.
Hey, stop that.
Sorry, you guys. Making mouth sounds over here.
Don't do the mouth sounds. Somebody once.
Oops, sorry.
The fuck is your problem?
I can't stop.
My mouth.
It wants to make sounds.
People watch out like, the fuck is wrong with this? Oh man. Let me tell you. I'm looking forward to that whole new job thing.
Yeah.
I told you they took away VLC at my work, right? So I can't even watch the stuff that I had saved on my hard drive. And QuickTime got fucked when I tried to run something on it, so I don't know if they broke that too, but
Any time I've tried to play a file in QuickTime lately, it always tries to convert it. It's always just like, okay, starting conversion. I'm like, no.
and then it'll get all the way through and it'll be like, couldn't convert it.
Couldn't play this, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But as I put it, if I can't fuck around on the internet, I may as well go to a job where I can't fuck around on the internet and make more money.
And get paid
so.
more, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the incentive?
Yeah. It's I mean, I understand. The thing is, I am someone who's capable of doing my job and watching stuff at the same time. Granted, Doctor Who, I don't because I take notes.
Right.
So that kind of consumes my whole focus. But I figure I can do 45 minutes every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I can be done with that.
Yeah.
But like they took away Spotify too, which pissed off a lot of people because we have a ton of people that, you know, they're artists. They
Yeah,
just put
but-
their headphones on. Like they don't need to speak to anyone. They can read their email and do stuff and keep their headphones on and do work the entire time. Which is, there were plenty of deadline days where I would just put my headphones on, put podcasts on, and get through 3 giant bombs in one day.
Yeah. I mean, don't these places know that now there are jobs everywhere? So I've heard. And this draconian measures. More places than not are starting to do this internet crackdown thing. And it's like,
yeah, I don't.
what do you think is going to happen?
I mean,
like
are
your
they all
productivity
afraid that Russia's going to hack their stuff? I
don't know.
I don't understand what's bringing it on. Because as Harlow put it, like this is like IT shit from like 5 years ago that nobody does anymore.
I mean, like the ransomware stuff, I get. And my job has been like super cracked down on the ransomware stuff because that can fuck up a major organization big time. Like the city of Atlanta is fucked because of that shit. I don't even know if they've fixed it yet. But this whole thing of just like, yeah, and streaming music is probably real bad too, so we're not going to let you guys do that.
They like talk about bandwidth concerns, and yet they'll have like video calls that there's literally no reason to do a video call.
Yep.
It is like, all right, I get it, we're in the future, but I don't need to FaceTime you while you all sit around somebody's desk and talk to me. Like, fine, if you're going to show me something on your screen, show me something on your screen. Don't show me you sitting in front of your computer talking to your speakerphone.
It's like, I know you're there.
Yeah, No, my work just took away like all streaming options, like all of them, including Spotify, which is like nothing, bandwidth wise, nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, yet they'll set up a video conference any day of the week for no reason. No need for video.
We all have the Cisco calls or color screen with the webcam on them.
Yeah.
So if unless you twist it to closed, every call is a video call.
Yeah.
I assume you closed it immediately.
No,
the Total Recall future that we were all promised.
Yeah.
no, I mean,
and all phones are VoIP now, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
like nobody has a fucking landline phone.
Based on the fact that like I'm customer service, if you will. I mean, I feel it ingratiates me more to make facial or make eye contact with somebody.
It's harder for them to shit on you if they
it's
see
like
what you look like.
real person here.
Yeah, like hey, look,
helping you.
Yeah, but then you can't roll your eyes at them when they're like, I need to know how to attach a photo to an email.
I don't get those calls. So
oh, good.
Yeah, but no, like I mean, yeah, I can give them my good old thumbs up and stuff.
Yeah,
which I do to everybody.
You do?
Yeah.
So do you tell them crash and burn? And then they fist bump their
like,
little screen.
Well, if we have a video thing and there's like they're like cool, thanks and everything. I won't say anything. I just go to the little camera.
I like it. Oh my!
I have the quickest of I've collated into a complete thought. I just have one last Far Cry addendum when we start the half.
Okay.
It's more of a comparison between 4 and 5 than talking more about 5.
Okay.
So just super quick.
Yeah, we can drop into that. And I'm going to let you go after me, just so it breaks up my stuff.
Okay. Oh, you mean like now or?
Well, second half.
Okay.
Like if you want to talk about your Far Cry stuff, we can bring that in right away. I'm saying I just put you ahead of Crackdown.
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just.
Yeah.
I already talked fucking enough, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though I got to talk more, but we don't need it all in a row.
Hey, you signed up for it.
I know.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. All right, welcome back. Second half.
Hey, still a motherfucking video game podcast.
You're still fucking right, man.
Brought to you by video games.
All right, so I know if you're listening to the first half, you're probably sick of hearing about Far Cry, but I have one final thought that I meant to make while we were having our whole diatribe about Far Cry.
Please do.
It's really more. It's thinking about the end of the game and then how good the end of Far Cry 4 was, because Far Cry 4, from like the moment you're like liberating the big giant outpost and the John Ho kicks in, song, it's like that is such a glorious like, oh yeah, it's a climactic feeling. Like I am at the end of the game, crank the music, let's fucking do this, going to confront pagan men. And unlike Far Cry 5, which again I'm not going to say what happens, but it comes down to dialogue and Mass Effect button push, like do this or do that. And Far Cry 4, there is choice, but it's inside engine. Like you confront pagan men and you can choose how the game ends and resolves, but it's like you're directly controlling it, and that like it's a weird thing to take a step back and like have a branching choose your own adventure style button press thing instead of like, no, let me do what I want to do and what I want to do kind of thing, like instead of just like, I am going to trigger this cutscene or this cutscene. Like that is such a weird, like this isn't a Telltale game, guys.
Yeah.
So
I just sick burn.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, that's,
I know.
Like, do I trigger this cutscene or this cutscene? And that's unfortunately what the ending is without telling you what happens. That's what happens. That's the mechanic anyway. So it's just, I thought I was thinking back. I was, I can think and get more angry about the end of Far Cry 5, and I can think back about the end of Far Cry 4 and how glorious feeling that was. Like, man, that music cue. I mean, I know not everybody was like with that music cue like I was, but like when that kicked in, I was like, fuck yes. So
I gotta admit, there was a part of me that almost bought Far Cry 4 on Xbox One, even though I platinumed it on PS4. I came
Just to do it again.
Yeah, because like Burnout kind of triggered that in me. I was like, it's been like 3 years. I could probably do that all over again and have fun doing it.
I've been looking for like because it's Ubisoft and they were going to do this. I've been looking for like a GOTY Far Cry 4 bundle on the PC to do that with, because I know I can.
Because you never played the Yeti stuff.
I never played the Yeti stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was just like that DLC came out just after I'd run through the game twice, and I was like, I was done with Far Cry at the time. So
Well,
but
we are going to get Far Cry 3 in a few months.
We are, somewhere. That.
Yeah, is there
thing.
anything about the DLC schedule so far? I thought the Far Cry 3 was supposed to be coming out first.
That's what I thought, but I initially read the thing wrong. It sounded...
It made it sound like the Far Cry 3 was going to be out before Far Cry 5 was out.
It was worded
Yeah.
saying that if you pre-order the game with the Season Pass, you would get it a month early, and people thought that meant a month before the game released.
Oh.
What it means is a month before the retail version of Far Cry 3 comes out. So, because I pre-ordered that day thinking I'll spend the first month replaying Far Cry 3 to get me in the mood for Far Cry 5, and then realized, wait, no, it never came out. What happened? So,
Okay.
yeah, they worded it really weird. But
yeah, like I said, because it's Ubisoft and they super value their season passes, that I've never seen like a cheap enough bundle to rebuy it type of thing.
yeah.
And what's sad is, I have the whole season pass on the PS4. I should just go replay it there, I guess. But yeah, something about just having it like fresh and not like do a restart type of thing.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I'm with you.
I get it.
I'm hip. I'm cool.
I get it.
Yeah. So, board game
What?
corner.
Huh?
Board game corner.
Yeah.
That's usually my thing.
I know. I've been getting into board games lately.
Thief.
I played some Burgle Brothers.
I was going to say,
Burgle
you
Bros.
have burgled my corner.
Yeah, Burgle Bros, which is a game where you are pulling off a heist, and you are building the board and revealing the board as you go. Which you build a team, and it's a co-op game. It is you versus the game itself. So they're in the largest version of the game. You are building a tower with 3 levels in it, with 3 floors, where each floor has a safe on it, and each floor has a set of stairs that go up and go down. And
That's usually what stairs do.
well, I mean, they're in different places.
Oh, okay.
And actually, no, there are no stairs down. There are ways to go down, but sometimes if you go up, you cannot go back down, so you can lock yourself out of winning the game, so to speak. And there are guards that patrol each floor that are determined by a random stack of cards that say, okay, the guard's going here. And it is basically... it's a co-op game where you are trying to rip off, trying to get what's in each safe, and each of your characters has a special skill that is used. And
I believe you have to get all the things from all the safes,
yes.
and then all of your characters have to get out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without getting caught. And you can you have 3 lives. You have 3 times you can be captured before you get away. And it is... I don't know if we just played it really well, but we had a lot of fun, and we got out quickly. Like, something about the way we played, the 4 of us, is we just cranked through that game. And I was kind of surprised, because I was expecting us to be worse at it or fail, and we did not.
You can get really lucky in that game, or you can get really unlucky. When I played it, it's been a couple years. I may have even talked about it briefly on the podcast, but we got out by the skin of our teeth. Like it was classic heist movie. Just at the very last second, we managed to escape.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fun game because it is straight up. You can all talk strategy.
Yes.
Throughout, and so it's like, all right, I know at the end of my turn, the guard has to take 3 steps over this way, but Walt is over there, so Walt is going to have to move. It's like, if I do this...
Walt didn't Walt it up?
No, Walt actually played the way Walt is supposed to play. I think...
He wasn't that guy that came in at the last minute and was the wild card and
No.
messed it all up. Let's kill these bitches.
I was surprised, but no. But yeah, he... No, but it was basically like, all right, but if I trigger the alarm over here... that means that the guard will be drawn this direction instead of where Walt is, and that gives Walt time to get to the stairwell. So it was like the game clicked with all of us all of a sudden, and we're all like, no, you can't do that here because the guard is in the atrium and he will see you down from this floor above you, and all the sort of stuff that comes from playing a board game like that. And
Yeah.
I can highly recommend that. I'll say that. Like, we had a lot of fun, and it was so fun. Like, I was like immediately looking up these people have built towers just to store this game, because the floor is built out of a 4x4 grid of tiles, and as you hit them, you flip them over. And because you have 3 floors, people have actually built a board that's elevated where there are 3 levels to it, so you can put all the cards in there. And I was like, man, that nice wood one's only like $60. That I was like, but I have nowhere to store that thing. But we enjoyed playing it so much that we were like, all right, that's not a bad idea to do that. And luckily, a guy at my current workplace has a laser cutter. So,
Ooh,
but
fancy.
I don't think I can fit the board in there, so I'm trying to figure out ways to put like a piano hinge in the middle so he can run 2 sheets through and then do it that way. But again, that is a board game that I can highly recommend anybody, and it's just at burglebros.com. And it's one of those self-published games. I guess it was a Kickstarter a few years ago, but they actually, sprung and got actual artwork on the cards and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It is, I mean, it's not really a genre of board games, but I really, really, really like cooperative board games these days. Like
Pandemic.
Yeah, like Pandemic. In some ways, Betrayal at House on the Hill, even though there's going to be a betrayer. But
I mean, Dead of Winter. 90% of the time, there's no betrayer, and you're playing to win the game.
Right. But any of those games that are co-op, like you versus the board, I'm really digging these days. My competitive streak is just fading far and fast.
Because it's like, let's just all have fun with it.
What's that? What
Right.
is it? Castle Panic, where like everything's coming in together.
I believe that's what it is.
That's
Castle
a co-op
Panic,
one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that stuff's good for people like Jen, who just is always worried about like not playing the game right and being bad at the game and that sort of stuff. And it's like, when you're doing a co-op thing, it's like, no, we can see all the cards you have. We can all coach each other through this game. And I think that's why she enjoyed it a lot, because it was like, there wasn't that pressure of trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I help my team? Am I going to hurt my team?
Yeah.
I can't tell them that I'm the thing, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There are some other games that are like team versus team that I also enjoy. Like, I think I talked about that submarine game,
Yeah.
which is really good. But I'm burnt out on that whole like strong competitive board game streak after 3.5 years of solid game nights. But I'm really glad that games like Burgle Bros exist. They're like unique, and really, it seems like they really play tested it really well. And
Yeah, they really did.
It's really refined.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we play a lot of Kickstarter games at the game night, and so many of them end up being sloppy, I guess is the nice word for it.
Yeah.
But Burgle Bros just
So many of them feel like
everything works with that.
Yeah, so many of them feel like systems were added to counter something else that don't necessarily jive with the original design.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like that Back to the Future game I talked about probably like 6 months ago or whatever, where it was kind of like you could tell certain elements of that were, okay, well, people were just beating the game too easily by doing this. So we need to add a condition that you have to do this before you can do that. And it's like adding that thing makes no logical sense. And it's like it's only here, like it becomes too transparent that this is only here as a roadblock because of this.
Right.
Instead of refining the design or giving you a decent reason for that to exist in the game. And this game doesn't have any of that. Those checks and balances all weigh out in the way they're supposed to.
Or they like came up with a really good idea and then realized halfway through making the game that it's broken. The idea itself is flawed, so they have to cram something in just because they have to get a game out or they have to finish the game or whatever. There's another one. If I can re-hijack your
Of course.
your corner, and I may have mentioned it at some point, but 5-Year Mission, the Star Trek card game, is really good. It's it's a really well balanced co-op game. What?
I'm interested.
Your eyes like went. It's the one that I picked up at.
Oh, right.
Picked up in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if we played it, but I will bring it to Atlanta this time.
That's the Southern Fried Game Room Expo, which we will be attending shortly.
Whoa.
Yeah, from June 8th to 10th in Atlanta, Georgia, the United States of America. At the Marriott Renaissance Waverly
I feel like you should have
Galleria.
stepped out to like Fulton County and then before you go straight to the
Southern District.
Earth Soul System, just in case you're from out of town. you
Yeah,
know.
well, I don't know. I would have had to say what actual fucking Atlanta township
Fulton,
that
it's
place
Fulton,
is.
Fulton County. Oh,
I know, but
oh,
it's
yeah,
like it's in like
Marietta,
yeah, it's
Peachtree City. I don't know which one.
Frank's section of
It's
Atlanta.
Frank's section, yes.
Who knows? I know nothing about Atlanta geography except there's a varsity there.
There's a few.
8.
Are there 8 varsities? in
At
Atlanta?
least within the general vicinity of where
Jesus.
we are, yeah. Ask me how.
But
I
there's
know.
really only one
Yeah, there's only.
or two. I mean, the one in Athens counts.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
Star Trek.
Star Trek 5-Year Mission. It's a co-op card game.
Wait. Quap?
No, it's not a
Yeah,
co-op card game.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
a co-op.
you awkwardly pilot the ship using 4 buttons.
Almost. I mean, you do awkwardly, make your way around the galaxy with 4 or 5 players, but that one's a really, really, really well balanced co-op game, and you should play that as well.
I like games.
Okay, I'm done burgling your corner.
No, it's fine. But yeah, Tim Fowers is the designer and I guess kind of like the self-publisher for Burgle Bros. And he also did like Walkstar and Paperback, which Walkstar is one I want to play a lot.
Walkstar.
Where it's basically a cooperative game where you run a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, walk.
Oh, walk.
Yeah.
Well, see, we were
Okay.
talking about QWOP a second ago.
Yeah.
I was
Okay,
like,
no.
you're like 4-player
Walkstar.
game to make person walk.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay,
So,
now you
W-O-K.
bend the knee.
Okay.
W-O-K star.
Got it.
That sounds like a game that I would really like to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Board games are cool. Play more board games.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of things that are
International Game of Day. Sorry, International Game of Day is coming up.
the Seg Killer.
Yeah. International Day of Game is Tabletop Day is coming up. I think it's the 28th of April. So
Is it? All right.
celebrate some games.
I will try to. Hey, speaking of things that are really well designed,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Like
played.
that seg?
Yeah,
Segbusters.
it was back there somewhere. I played some more Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
You enjoying throwing your hat?
Yeah, okay, so here's the weird thing: like when you step away from games in general, and especially, and I'm not singling this out in a bad way, but when you step away from especially Japanese design games, they're really fucking weird. Like when you think about Mario, like even back to original. I mean, not I'm talking about Mario Brothers, but like original Super Mario. That's some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you kind of have to like divorce your brain from what's actually happening. But man, Super Mario Odyssey is just so spectacularly designed. Like that's the thing. It's one of these things I have to rediscover periodically about Nintendo games. It's like, yeah, they're not bleeding edge, to everything else. They're generally kind of behind the times. I will say, I think the Switch is their most current feeling thing in a long time. I mean, the Wii was woefully out of date. The Wii U was like 2 Wii's strapped together with a weird, handheld thing, like
4 GameCubes,
Yeah.
please.
I'm just saying, like,
4 GameCubes and an iPad or Kindle Fire.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Wii U looked considerably better than the Wii did, but it's just like their thing is just like, yeah, we know we're not up to date with everything.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch feels like the closest to it. I mean, it looks real good on a
Yeah.
TV, by comparison. But man, like what they lack in like their cutting edge hardware, like they really just make up for in game design. And I'm not the hugest Nintendo fan throughout time. I mean, I was a Sega person growing up, and Nintendos were the thing I went and played at other people's houses. So it's like, but still, just like the tightness and the quality of their level design in like Mario Odyssey is just really fantastic. Like it's just, I don't have any specific thought about anything that I've done. Like I just think that the level designs are really, really good. They kind of, this one, with the 3D Marios, they kind of like, you open it up for some exploration kind of bit. So like this open world, like I'm going to go look for hidden stars, that just might be buried, or maybe there's a little puzzle you do, talk to somebody and do this, and then you unlock another one. And, and it's the kind of thing like, you're never wanting for stars, unless you're just like, I'm trying to speed run this, like or moons, so not stars, moons. But so, you could just kind of like slow down and be like, yeah, I'm going to go check out over here. I never really walked over there, and there would be a whole new little thing to do. And like, there's a little hidden puzzle thing to unlock another moon. And it's pleasant and fun. I mean, I've heard that it gets hard at some point, like especially like I think there's like a lava level, the traditional kind of lava level thing that gets a little difficult, but I'm just enjoying it. Like it's pleasant and fun.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There really isn't. But
No.
yeah, it's weird as shit when you think about it from a
Yeah.
realistic standpoint, especially when you get to New Donk City and it's like here's mostly realistic people walking around and your tiny ass Mario throwing your hat and taking over shit. It's like it's real fucked up when you think about what's actually happening, but you can't. You just have to go with the flow. That's the thing, and I don't know.
I find it interesting that it's basically your two games this month are Far Cry 5, which is like grimmest of the grim nihilistic shit, and Super Mario Odyssey, which is like the bluest of skies, happiness and love.
It really is, yeah. I mean, like even the bad guys are just like, I don't know, we're just kind of doing what Bowser tells us. And even Bowser's like, I don't know, I dig this lady. Like, I mean, everyone's just like motivations like,
I just dig this
like
lady.
are kind of innocent, like
Yeah.
there's nothing sinister about any of it. Yeah, like, just, man.
Just got to do what Bowser does, man.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
steal your girl.
Bowser
That's what I
gonna
do.
bows.
Yeah. I'm just a turtle, man. Get off my back. But yeah, I don't know. It's just pleasant and fun. I mean, I still haven't spent a ton of time with it, but I think it was back on like Mario Day. I was like, oh yeah, I have that game. I should fire this shit up. So I don't know. It's fun. March 10th, by the way, if you don't want Mario Day.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I figure
I
we
get
all
it.
know. I was just sharing for
Oh, yeah.
the audience.
Yeah, like
Hell.
Google Maps added Mario Kart sounds.
Yeah.
To themselves on March 10th.
The electric billboards around town had Happy Mario Day on them.
Yeah,
Like, what? Like, who sponsored that?
Mario.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Well, look at the age of people. I mean, the people in charge of that shit now are the people that grew up with Mario. And
Yeah, I know.
I mean, let's face it, Nintendo fans are.
Our age.
I'm just saying
Work
they're
age.
they're a little
Dying.
Obsessive.
obsessive. Yeah, like
oh, I get. Okay, yeah.
I was trying to think of a nice way of saying it, but like they're a little in their own space.
Yeah.
People that are like way into Nintendo. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, talking about obsession and jumping,
Yeah.
Crackdown came to backwards compatibility,
Yeah, it did.
and I played a lot of Crackdown.
Just now or in the day?
Both.
Okay, all right.
Both. Turns out I was at 497 out of 500 orbs.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
I am currently at 499 out
Oh.
of 500
What?
orbs.
Pain.
Got to get it.
You are so
I-
close to being the Orb Lord.
Do not know where that fucking orb is, and all the maps on the internet suck.
It's also really almost impossible to like follow any of those maps because of A, how the city is constructed, and B, you have no idea where
Yeah, verticality.
you've already been. Yeah.
Yeah, and the verticality of it. So I just have the map in front of me, and I have a Sharpie, and I just put a dot over each one that I've, like, if I'm there, I'm like, I don't see it anywhere, and I don't hear it, dot, dot. That's, and there was I was, at first I started just doing it systematically. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go through this city block, and I'm going to figure it out. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bounce around this fucking world. Because why not? It's been so long. There's still really good stuff about that, but holy fuck, the design is stuck in 2007. for all the menus and everything, and it's basically just like it's just weird stuff. Like you can't fast travel. You have to kill yourself and then regenerate at a different point on the map, like a different one of the supply points or whatever. So there's just some weird shit like that. And also like the design of some of those buildings I had forgotten looks like a ledge you can grab, but it's not. And so some of those buildings just become this exercise in, I know it's up there. How the fuck do I get there? And that game did not have any aerial vehicles. I know. I'm pretty sure in Crackdown 2 there were helicopters that you could fly.
Plus the rocket boots. Yeah,
and the rocket boots, of course. But there's so many areas of that where you're just like, I don't know how to jump up here. But because they did cel shaded style, that game still looks pretty good. Like I was really pleasantly surprised at how good it looked.
Is that one of those ones that got the X enhancements even on an older one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, granted, like there's a lot of ground textures that are like, oh yeah, that's a fucking ground texture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you even look at the ground when you can jump into the sky?
Sometimes you just gotta look down.
Well, you gotta look at where you're gonna land first.
Yeah.
Nope. Just go.
You gotta check the cracks that are down.
Keep your feet on the ground and you're reaching for the stars.
Yeah, with
Or with your feet on the ground,
air
your
and feet on the air and head on the ground.
Yeah.
Crackdown.
Where is my Crackdown?
There's certain stuff that's just still hilarious about that game, like just jumping in the air and then, holding B so he does this shoot down to the ground and slam, and all the people standing around just go flying in this shockwave away. Or just like running by some lady, and for some reason, like some of the barks in that game are so dumb. Like there's one lady who's just like, "This is fucked up." Every time you run by her. Every time.
Well, she ain't wrong.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, I am a giant man with a giant rocket launcher who just jumped by you 45 feet in the air, but still. Yeah. But it's very much, it's just weird that once you clear that game out, there is nothing else in it. I mean, there's the city where there's cars driving around and stuff, but it's really all you're doing is trying to listen for the sound of that fucking orb, about where it is somewhere in that level. Yeah. And I'm glad like games that have collectibles like that just have trackers and all that. But
or maps you can purchase.
Yeah, just trackers and maps and whatever. Because like the sequel added, I believe if you held up on the arrow on the D-pad, it would ping your area, and it would show you everything there. And what I wouldn't give for that, just and it's like it's become just a white whale thing now, where it's like, man, my first achievement in this game was 10 years ago. Actually, no, 11 years ago now, because that was 2007. And it's like, I just want this achievement to show up 11 years later, just so I can be like, it took me 11 years to find all 500 of these things.
Somebody from Microsoft is going to call you and be like, Mr. Mackey, we noticed you got that last orb.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
They'll be like,
Were you in a coma?
Greetings, Starfighter. You've been recruited.
Right. Yeah, then you go to space.
Yeah. That's what I want. Give it to me.
Fuck this. I'm going to go find all 500
Yeah.
orbs.
So many aliens have died in the last 11 years waiting for you to find
But
this last goddamn.
I will say, like, there was a nostalgia to going back in there, but there's also like a feeling of, I think we oversell Crackdown when we talk about it lovingly, because it's okay. But it's just so many open world games have come since then that have done everything better. Saints Row 4 probably being the prime example of, hey, this is Crackdown but better.
There were a lot of orbs in that game.
Yeah, even though Saints Row 4 wasn't Saints Row 3, it was not as good a game, but it was very much like, here you're a superhero doing crazy shit. So
Damn straight you were.
Yeah.
Flying through the level in Saints Row 4 and having everything like tumble behind you was A, amazing, and B, probably melted half of the remaining Xbox 360s on the planet. But
Probably.
like, that was what I was thinking about when you started talking about running by that lady, because I tend to get that Crackdown and the Saints Row 4 superpowers mixed up.
Yeah.
Do we think Crackdown 3 is ever coming out?
Yes.
It'll be out this year.
Is it? Will it? You think?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be out. I don't think it's going to be anything special.
All right.
No.
I mean, they won't show any of it. like I wasn't the tease basically Terry Crews yelling at you about Crackdown and how awesome it's going to be.
Yep.
And like no footage or anything of it.
What is it with this year and people underselling Terry Crews? Like, he's in Deadpool 2. Like, and all of the trailers are just like, hey, he's back there. He's not going to get any lines or anything.
I think he's not in it much.
I don't know. Just
it's weird.
It's Terry Crews. Like, he's in shit.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's in shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Mobile Corner.
Oh.
We're nearing the end here.
Mobile Corner.
Mobile Corner. Just a quick check-in on Pokemon Go, because they've added a whole bunch of systems to it.
Oh, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Systems.
I still see people,
I
like,
know.
as I'm driving by on my way to work, because there are a lot of popular Pokemoning areas, people are still fucking playing Pokemon.
Yeah, the people who are playing it are hardcore.
I was sitting in the park eating lunch last week sometime, and I could just sense them as they walked by. I was like, those are fucking crazy Pokemon people.
Well, sometimes you can catch their scent. And
Just curious, is Ingress still running? Do you know?
Yes,
It
is
is
still running.
And then people are still doing it. So they didn't like migrate over to Pokemon. They just kind of stuck with Ingress.
I don't know what the ratio is of people who like went to Pokemon and then went back to Ingress or abandoned Ingress altogether. I know I bounced into Pokemon and bounced off the hole.
Yeah.
Walking around with your phone, trying to melt itself because you're playing this really resource-intensive game thing altogether. But I don't have anything that would even come close to a number for you.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny to me because so many of the Pokestops were based on Ingress points, and so many of them no longer exist. Like there was a Captain's Club lighthouse near my house that is now a dirt lot. Like the building no longer exists. There are so many strip mall churches that were, because apparently in Ingress, all you had to do was submit a church, and you would get a point for it or whatever. And so all these strip mall churches that are long gone are all Pokestops.
Yeah, churches were an easy approval.
Yeah.
So anything church, just if it even remotely looked like a church thing, you just take a picture
Church's
of it.
fried chickens?
I think people tried that, but I don't think there were great success rates. Even shit like for a while it was like the Wild West, and you could almost get anything approved, but
they cracked down and they made it just statues, murals, and churches basically, and fountains.
Yep.
But they're up to the 3rd gen stuff in there, and they just recently, April Fool's Day, they added a patch that that made everything 8-bit graphics. So like when you looked at your Pokédex, it was all the images from the Game Boy version, which was kind of fun, but also kind of a pain in the ass because then you couldn't tell what anything was without looking at the name. But they added quests, basically, and RPG style stuff where it's all right. Visit, the 3 that you have in your queue right now are visit 3 Pokestops, catch 5 Pidgeys, and something like win a raid battle would be the 3 things that would be. And then once you get
like daily challenges.
Yeah, well, kind of. But you get a stamp once you complete a day, and once you get 7 stamps, and they don't have to be consecutive days, so you could take a week off, come back, and get a second stamp.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I like any game that does not reset your progress if you miss a day, because fuck games that do that. Especially once you get up in the high numbers, then it just becomes stressful because
it becomes a job.
Yeah, exactly. So any of them that just let you, but yeah, you get a stamp, and then by the time you get to the 7th stamp, you can recruit a legendary Pokemon. Basically, is what it unlocks. So
you just get it for free?
No, you still have to catch it, but like they only show up in raid battles that like were just the ones where you needed 10 people in your team, and they needed to be actually kind of powerful, and then there was still the chance you weren't going to catch it anyway. So yeah. So they've added those, so it's nice to be able to finally catch some of those, because I think they realized people weren't grouping up and doing 10 people doing a legendary raid anymore, because every day they're all over the place. So it was a matter of unless I went on Reddit and joined a group, which I don't really feel like doing, because anyone that plays Pokemon that much I don't want to associate with, unless they are my wife, who plays it more than I do. So
I think all communities have a toxicity point, and games like Ingress and Pokemon highlight the ability of communities to rocket towards that.
Yeah, I will say that, because when I did do the raid battle, when they first introduced them to the game, like whatever it was, a year and a half ago. And like I found a group by the college near my house, you know, because we went out, we drove around, and then we saw all these people standing under this one tree, and we're like, oh yeah, they're fucking Pokemon. And you know, I came up to them, and like half of them were bitching, oh, it crashed again, I gotta submit another ticket, you know, all that. And I'm like,
Jeff Bridges.
yes. He spends a lot on Pokeballs, let me tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, they're just people that would be bitching. He's like, well, ticket number 185. Oh, God damn it. Fucking Niantic. You can't do anything right. You know, so you'd have all those people. And that was like the half of it was, you know, half the people going, congratulating their one friend who actually caught the legendary thing after the battle. And then the rest of them going, oh, it crashed on me. Fuck them. You know, so. So yeah, like you said, it reaches a toxicity point. You're just like, eh. But yeah, at least they added that legendary stuff, so there's a chance of getting it now, where there wasn't before.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's still being developed. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
and it's nice of them adding stuff that, you know, it really, honestly, kind of should have been there a long time ago. You know, just these types of daily quests, and then there's a long-term one that, you know, is like really long-term goals that I don't know what it leads to. I guess it leads to recruiting Mew, which is a big deal, because I guess Mew is the one from the movie or whatever. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, Mewtwo.
Yeah. They only said Mew. They only mentioned Mew, so I guess the end of this, you know, multi-part quest thing. But at least they've got that stuff in it. So there's, you know, different things to do.
Well, Mewtwo was a... Never mind. He was grown in a lab. He was a special version of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, singular.
Even though he's Mewtwo.
Right. Well, cloned off of the other one, but like special one-off thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Super, super powerful.
Yeah. And you could catch him all. But if there's only one of them, how would everyone catch them all? Okay. All right. So, email us.
Yeah. I mean, there's the story in the cartoon, and then there's like the practicality of games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Emails, correspondence, etc.
Correspondence Corner.
We got some. First one up, Adderblack39 on Twitter asks us, hey guys,
Hey.
do you think watching a video game is detrimental to gaming in terms of sales, enjoyment, etc.?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, can be.
Right, you guys have taken up all the... You just ran the spectrum. I have to break the...
Break the tie. Break the tie, Mackie.
Shrug emoji. That's the only thing that's left.
I don't know.
Let's put it this way. Like, for me, so many games are about interacting with the systems. Like Dark Souls. I could watch someone play through Dark Souls. That's not anywhere near the same as playing through Dark Souls. You know, watching someone run through Far Cry is generally going to be like, all right, yeah, that stuff looks cool. I could do that. You know, and watching that's going to be fun because there's going to be that weird random shit that happens to all of us, but might never happen to any of us.
Right.
That, all right, watching this guy do that was really cool. He lit this thing on fire, and then a bear ran through it, and then the bear tackled the guy I was trying to kill, and, you know, that was crazy. And, you know, and then there's stuff like Monster Hunter, where watching videos of Monster Hunter, that game looked awesome. Like, watching people play it, I was like, man, this game's going to be fucking cool. And then I played Monster Hunter, and it sucked. So I kind of wish I had stayed to just watching videos of Monster Hunter. But, you know, watching something like a Telltale game, yeah, that's where it gets iffy for me.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, those are the kind of things, like, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to stream a Telltale game. Because, like, I don't know, that's like going on YouTube and...
All right, take two.
No, I mean, that feels like going on YouTube and reading a book. You know? Like, that's... Like, you're literally giving the content away for free, because that's all there is like, watching it and barely interacting with it.
Yeah, but Telltale adopted that that Jackbox thing where you can all get on your phones and vote for the dialogue choices. So they want you to stream it at this point.
I know, but...
I mean, you can have a different experience every time playing a Telltale game, even though they end up the same way. Each chapter is going to go a different route based on what choices you're making, and I think that could be interesting to stream. The reason I said can be, to answer the question, is that I think story-based stuff absolutely can be ruined by watching a stream. You could see it and go, all right, well, I've seen what I need to see. I don't need to play that game. The only like current, I watch a lot of old streaming stuff, but like the only time I ever watched something pre-release is whenever there was a Rock Band whenever there was a
choked up.
Rock Band coming out, because I had to consume
Yeah.
just what are the minute changes of the interface? How does this, what's that going to look like? And so, like, the one guy who would get, a copy of Rock Band early and just, I'm going to play drums all day and stream it, I would have to watch that guy literally all day just to get, because I was so amped about Rock Band. That didn't ruin Rock Band for me at all. So,
Yeah. For me, it's rare that watching a game being played changes my purchasing decision or not.
yeah.
It's. But I also don't watch, walking simulators or any of that. Which those I feel probably suffer the most from people streaming them, because those are basically designed to be telling you a linear story for the most part, and going through it in the way that a streamer would go through it is gonna kind of give you the content that you would get playing it yourself.
Yeah.
So that stuff kind of, I see why a lot of people don't want that to happen, especially the ones that make those games.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the Persona people went kind of hardcore on do not stream past this point.
well, they wouldn't even let you take screenshots
Yeah.
of stuff, and
Yeah.
people were really frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Some people with capture cards, of course, got around it, but
It's just, I mean, it's, look, you can prevent yourself from watching a stream. It's real easy. So
yeah.
if you think that you're watching a lot of streams and not buying a lot of games, that's on you.
Yeah.
You can not do that and just go buy games. Is it hurting games? Maybe.
Probably
Are
not.
there things that are hurting games worse? Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, are we worried about hurting games when GTA 5 is now the most profitable entertainment thing
Right.
in history?
Yeah.
Yeah, and pay attention to the wording on that. The most profitable entertainment anything.
Yes. Music, movie, anything.
The most popular single piece of entertainment media in the entire history of
I mean, unless
the
you
universe.
count perhaps the Bible.
There's no
Nope.
single publisher.
Well,
Well, I mean,
profitable. You may be.
Yeah,
you may
no,
be
no.
right,
I mean,
yeah.
like, well, religious texts. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
you
okay.
consider them, because
it's open
Well, there's
source.
been like
It's-
85 versions of the Bible.
I know,
so-
Public
and
domain.
not one publisher owns it. I mean, there's lots of things, but
Yeah.
yes, I mean,
Yeah.
over the course of throughout time.
Yeah.
But yes, of a singular published thing, yes, it is the most profitable thing of all time.
I'm of a couple minds on a couple things that we've touched on. One, I feel like the games industry itself is to blame for them not making enough money, because there's obviously a lot of money in the video game marketplace. Video game developers are costing themselves a lot of money by doing a lot of dumb shit that we don't need to do in games, and then poor mouthing at we only made $700 million. It cost $500 million to develop.
Yeah,
We're
or
so sad.
We projected this, like
Right.
Yeah.
the failure of Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
no, you made money.
Yeah,
you
fuck
just didn't
you.
make what you said to the board
Yeah.
you were going to make.
Yeah, you
Well,
made
just
up
like-
a random ass number. You didn't hit it, and therefore you decried that you lost a bunch of money. No.
yeah.
You set an unreasonable expectation for your game. It didn't hit it because it was unreachable, and you blew it.
Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh man, we were expecting to sell 9 billion copies. We only sold 7. Fuck.
Yeah.
7 billion,
Yeah.
sorry. But
Or 7.
no, they sold enough copies, and
sure.
then people wanted to fling them directly into the eyes of everyone at EA. But on the streaming thing, I think it's really a consumer positive. Streaming or just watching games in general, like watching Let's Plays. For one, people are exposed to a lot more games that they may not be able to be exposed to otherwise, because some people don't have money. Some people have $60 a year to spend on a game, and they have to decide, am I going to buy this one at release? Am I going to buy 4 or 5 games throughout the year at $15 a piece? And being able to observe that content without having to put forth the investment ahead of time, like you don't have to just go in blind. You can go, like, maybe your favorite streamer is playing that game this week. You can go watch and see what it's all about, or maybe your favorite Let's Player, or your favorite video game website like Giant Bomb or Waypoint or something. They'll do a Let's Play, and you get to go watch that, you get to decide better how to spend your money. Like, I didn't know I wanted Horizon Zero Dawn as badly as I did until I watched somebody stream it. Like, I watched 3 or 4 hours of content, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's my fucking jam. I got to get that game.
But I mean, it's weird because it sort of course corrected something that the industry itself has screwed up in that they don't provide demos. There's like most games don't have a demo anymore, and it's this used car mentality of like you bought it, it's yours, you can't get rid of it. Like you might you can resell a physical disc and
Recoup
most of your
money
money back, but like if you buy digital, you're fucked. Like everyone was amped over No Man's Sky. If we'd all just settled the fuck down and realized let's wait for this to come out, it could be a shit show. No offense, I know you like it, but you know what I'm saying, like for most people, if like just that's the weirdest thing. Is like this mentality of like I have to pre-buy a digital copy. Like why? Like
So I played at midnight.
Well, no, because like and then there's this dumb shit of like bonuses. Well, fuck you. Like just like you have me. I can't return the game. If I'm buying digital, I should get all the bonuses. Period.
Yeah.
Like I'm in. Like I can't return the game. The
only thing you can do is on Steam. You can get a refund after a couple hours, which is. Thank God, because like you said, nobody does a demo anymore. You can't. Yeah.
So I mean, to me, I feel like streamers have sort of course corrected that. It's the new demo. Like, just go watch somebody play it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like Monster Hunter, you don't know that you're not going to like actually playing the mechanics of the game. Yeah. So you're still going to get burned.
Yeah. Games are games. Yeah. Like they're not videos. They're games. Like there's an interaction that has to happen.
Games.
Yeah. And when the interaction happens is when you know whether you like a game or not. Because, I could certainly tell you, watching videos of Monster Hunter, I was like, sign me the fuck up for everything this game's doing.
I think you said something like, this is what I'll be playing all year.
I really thought I would. Yeah. And I bounced off it hard once I was actually playing it.
I'll admit, I will occasionally watch a video for something I have absolutely no interest in just to either confirm or whatever. And the reason I wanted Monster Hunter was because one, everyone was fucking talking about it, so I was like, okay, I better see what this is, so at least I know what I'm not interested in.
Get your finger on the pulse.
Yeah, and then I watched some gameplay of it, and I was like, I would try that. That looks all right. But, it's just, the problem is that game at the start is just impenetrable. You can't get to the fun. And I was just like, I don't want to do any of this. Like, maybe that part's fun.
The doing the fight stuff isn't fun.
Okay.
It quickly becomes just repetitive. Yeah.
I was watching one of my favorite streamers play Ni no Kuni 2. And, I'm sitting there working on some stuff, eating dinner. I'm like, oh, this game looks really fucking cool. This looks like a lot of fun. Like, it's really cute. It's a, action RPG type of thing. I might have to go buy this game. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to keep watching and finish dinner or whatever. She moved on to a new mechanic, not necessarily mechanic, almost like a new... they introduced a whole new part of the game, not like part of the area, but a whole new... I don't know what...
Is that a features?
Feature, I guess, yeah. It's a whole new... mode called Skirmish, and that is just dumb garbage. And I was like, oh my god, thank God I stuck around.
Is that the recruitment based defender stuff?
You have two like groups of things, and you sort of run around, and instead of it being like an action RPG, you now have a bunch of units that you need to command, and you have to go through this whole battle thing to take over territory, and it's like.
Oh, like when Brutal Legend suddenly becomes a tower defense game.
Right,
it's like, what the fuck is this?
It's exactly that kind of thing.
And
I was like, oh man, thank God I watched this, because now this game can fuck off forever, and I don't have to worry about buying it. I don't have to spend $60 to play it now while the zeitgeist is strong.
Yeah. Just mentioning Brutal Legend, I would love to see the statistics on how many people quit.
When it became a tower defense
exactly the point I quit, which is like you get the wings and you fly up over the battlefield, and then you're just like, wait, what am I doing? And then you die.
I was hacking and slashing, and what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's generally a net positive, being able to watch people play games, or to watch video games.
You look at what the majority of people stream nowadays, and it's the three biggest games that are going, which is Fortnite, Overwatch, and PUBG.
Yeah.
So
it was definitely good for PUBG and
Absolutely.
and Fortnite.
Yeah. So I mean, I think overall streaming helps boost a game's sales or at least interest in a game, even to the point of just merchandising or stuff like that. People could get into that kind of stuff.
Awareness.
Is it good for a 2-hour linear indie game? Probably not. But you know,
I mean, if you don't have the resources to play that game yourself, it's good for you.
yeah.
You know, game industry as a whole kind of is in a place where they need to smarten the fuck up. So
They're always at that point.
yeah.
And you always think they're about to, and then they do something
Oh, they
stupid.
won't. No.
You know, because now they're all chasing the battle royale thing, and that's gonna hurt a lot of companies the same way chasing Call of Duty did, in
Yep.
that none of them are gonna
Or
hit.
Chasing WoW was
Yeah.
even worse because then you had to make a huge game.
Yeah. So
Can I ask one old man, not directly related question? It's just
Sure.
something I've been thinking about.
absolutely, you can. This is
all right.
our show.
So, like, I quite honestly, I don't understand the streaming thing.
Okay.
Like, I mean, just by and large, I don't understand the watching someone else play a game. I get it as far as, like, okay, if that's for you. Like, I'm just saying for me, 10 minutes of a quick look, and I've made the decision, do I want to play this or not? Usually
It
speaking.
is not your thing.
It's not my thing. You know, like, I will go watch a quick look, just say, like, what does this actually look like? Does it look like something I want to play? Okay, I'm done with it. I don't want to keep watching you play it. I'd rather play it myself. I had this thought. Everyone in this room besides me has siblings, correct?
No,
No? I thought you did.
I do not.
Okay.
I do.
So were they also game players?
No.
No? Just you were sole game player. I was just wondering if, like, if it's like the Big Brother mentality. Like, do we have a bunch of people that, like, they spent more time watching someone else play games than, because I never did. You know, like, I feel like it's partially selfish. Like, I'm like, why would I watch you play a game? I want to play the game.
I found myself watching streams at work.
Okay.
Almost exclusively. I'd never watched anything at home because
Yeah.
if I'm at home, I can play a game. I'm gonna play that game. If I'm at work, like I watched an entire Dark Souls 1 playthrough as I was playing it because I was like, I was so into that game that I wanted to consume more of it, even when I was at work. And so I'd have this one guy's stream running in the background,
Yeah.
you know, and it was actually a YouTube, like back before Twitch was really a thing. It was more like, okay, here's his section of videos, and I would watch those. And it was more just, I can't play the game now, so this is the next best thing.
Yeah, and I guess I get it. It's just like if it's been a while since I've had that, you know, obsession with a game level that if I were to do that at work, it would just infuriate me because I'd be like, fuck, it would just like the ennui would crush me at work of like I'm at work and I can't be doing this myself.
Yeah.
It would actually feel worse to watch somebody do it. Whereas like if I just like I'm at work, you know, be my other self that doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's about entertainment for me.
Okay.
I watch streamers, and I think I've mentioned this a few times, but I watch them for personality, and then a game that I'm interested in is kind of secondary, like the way that Twitch likes to categorize things either by popular, which is all the shouty, like a million things on the screen at once and chat going a million miles an hour, or by game, like is the complete opposite in both ways of how I want to watch a streamer. Like I almost watch it like a television show. So like somebody starts streaming, I go, oh hey, I like this person, I'm gonna watch them play this game.
Okay.
Or like with the RP stream, it is almost like tuning in to watch Cops every night before I go to bed because Kay starts streaming late, so I pop in and watch an episode of weird fucked up World Cops or 2 or 3. You know, for me when I sit down to play a game, it's I get into it and it's a commitment. I'm usually committing a large block of time to playing games. I don't play like 45 minutes at a time. I get in and do it for 4 hours or 5 hours or something. But you know, watching a streamer play a game, I don't feel bad about getting up and walking and going into the kitchen and doing something or doing chores or something while it's sort of on in the background like a TV show. So
Yeah.
that's how I consume that. Except for YouTube Let's Plays, which are like, and every once in a while I want to catch somebody like, here's my highlights of some fun shit that I did.
Yeah.
And I watch that stuff at work a lot.
And I like the ones with narrators where people actually talk. I can't stand the ones where it's just
Yeah.
completely silent. I'm just playing the game.
Yeah.
Like that stuff does nothing for me whatsoever.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like it's all personality driven for me as well. Basically, I just watch people that I would want to hang out with.
Yeah.
So it would be like, okay, if you guys are all in the living room playing a game, I would be totally cool just sitting there hanging out. I'm not gonna watch every second of everything, but I'm aware, orally and yeah, and visually.
AUR.
I
Yes.
think you mean orally. Yes,
Orally.
Eerily.
Yes,
Oral.
I'm
Eerily
eerily
aware of your oral
Yeah.
fixation.
So yeah, I just I'm interested in people that I would want to be hanging out with.
I guess that's part of my problem too. Is like the barrier to entry to finding somebody. I don't even know how you would find someone that you would mesh with. Is it just you just literally go flip channels and like, oh, this looks interesting, and then you give them a few minutes and be like, nah, I don't like them.
I never have
Yes.
luck doing that though. Like I get on Twitch and it's just like nah, and then
Yeah,
no.
I never know what to sort by. I mean, which generally leads me to like, well, what are most people watching? And then yeah, you get the
Okay.
screen chat scrolling by
Yeah.
at warp speed thing,
So
with 1,000 faces I don't recognize.
here are maybe a couple pro tips. I don't know.
Okay.
For one, like pay attention to who your friends are watching.
Okay.
Because you tend to birds of a feather and all that. Ace attorney of aviary flocks.
Yes.
For two, if you
Right.
are going to watch a quote unquote popular streamer, just minimize that chat panel. Just click that little button that pushes it away. Especially if it's somebody who you seem to like. Just completely ignore.
Man,
I couldn't
that
let
was
that
so
go.
fucking smooth.
God damn it! I almost
sorry.
pulled it off.
But that was it was too good. I couldn't let it go.
Boom. Anyway,
Nearly pulled that off. Fucking shit. Unintentionally, but so yeah, if it's somebody that you find interesting, just ignore the chat, especially if it's going a million miles an hour,
Sure.
because chat is so tertiary to the experience. You really should just be there for the streamer, unless you are watching a smaller streamer, and then the community can be fun because you can find like a lot of the streamers that I watch are smaller streamers, so they'll have between 15 and 30 viewers at one time.
Yeah.
And the chat is a lot slower, it's a lot calmer, it's a lot more like, hey, let's have a little chit chat with each other while we watch this happen, or let's 4 or 5 of us discuss what just happened, and you can kind of also chat to the streamer as well, and without having to feel like you're trying to get fucking Kirk Hammett's attention at a Metallica concert. Yeah, I know who
Yeah.
Metallica is.
You have to show your
Is
tits.
that Mr.
Right.
Metallica?
Yes.
It's Frank Metallica?
Frank Metallica and Kurt.
They kicked him out
Metallica.
early on.
What
it was a real travesty.
What about Lemmy from Metallica?
Yes. Kurt Cobain from Metallica.
Yeah,
everyone.
he's good.
But yeah, also I would say definitely watch smaller streamers or
Sorry, I was thinking about something unrelated. Sorry, I didn't mean to fuck that up. I was trying to hold it in. I'm so sorry.
We're never getting out of here, are we?
so I would say definitely also watch smaller streamers just because they're more accessible. And if you just have no idea where to go in general, look for a game that you're interested in and
Yeah.
pick somebody in the not in the top,
The mid-tier.
Yeah, somebody in the mid tier, and it really for me takes like 90 seconds of listening to somebody, how they act and how they talk, before I make the decision whether I'm going to stick around or not.
If you don't like them, move on.
Maybe I'll give it a try again. I didn't just doing it wrong.
Probably.
I just feel like everyone talks about like, oh, these things I watch on YouTube. I'm like, how the fuck did you even find that? Like I just don't even understand how what the discovery on internet content is.
As
half the time.
garbage as YouTube's like algorithm has been for some things, for me watching video game content, it's been pretty good.
Okay.
It also, if you find somebody that you like and they play games with somebody fairly often, like I watched Jack Frags and he plays with a few guys that are funny and interesting. So I ended up subscribing to their channels and, you know, finding a bunch of other people that I like to watch do game stuff.
All right.
All right.
Ask your friends.
So we got an email from Kyle,
Hey, Kyle.
a.k.a. Marvel Zombie 616 on Twitter.
Hey, he's going to show up in the chat just as we were about to leave.
Who works swing shifts and usually shows up in the last 5 minutes of the live stream. His email is titled, How Did I Miss This? It says, hey guys, Kyle here, and it's been a while since I've corresponded.
Been a while.
But I came across a game that somehow I had missed all these years, and I have to shout about it. Earth Defense Force 4.1 on PS4.
Oh.
I'd never played any of this series before now. Let me ask you some questions.
Okay.
Do you like great graphics?
Yes.
Do you like solid voice acting?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you like a deep story?
Yes.
Well, too bad, because this game has none of that.
Correct.
What it does have is giant fucking ants, big-ass spiders, 50s-style robots from space, giant mechs you can pilot, Robot Jock style, spaceships, kaiju. Oh my god, where has this been all my life? It's repetitive, frustratingly overwhelming at times, and kind of stupid. But most importantly, it's fun. Big, dumb fun in a way that only games can be. I wish I'd found this sooner, and I love that it has split-screen couch co-op. If anything I listed sounds fun, try it out. It's all the things 13-year-old me would have killed to have in a game. Thanks again for the show, guys. Until next time, Kyle, at Marvel Zombie 616. Sent from my terrible AI squad mates that keep shooting walls and shouting, EDF!
Wait, they do
So they
that?
hype man themselves.
Yeah.
They are the EDF, the
Correct,
Earth Defense Force. Yeah, I played, I don't even remember which one it is on 360.
I played
I think it was Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon.
maybe. I've played one of the ones on
They're
360.
kind of Dynasty Warriors-ish a little bit, where it's just like waves and waves of enemies you just fucking annihilate, but you can still get overwhelmed if you're not careful.
Yeah, I feel like I played one for 20 hours and got to, I don't know, level 20 or 30, and then was like checking the achievements. It was like, reach level 200, and I was like, Jesus fucking God, no.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, Jesus. God.
Yeah, I remember co-oping one of them with, like, I think it was Moonpeer, and maybe Harlow or somebody else joined us for one of the
I've never touched an
sessions.
EDF.
I don't remember, but yeah, it was. That can be kind of fun in co-op,
Yeah.
but it can still be kind of like, oh, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like there's a point where it's like it's not very good about telling you, okay, now go here and do this. You're just kind of like, I wiped out all those bugs, and
Yep.
where do I go? You know.
The novelty of it is great for the first like hour. Like for the first hour, you're like, man, this is insane, and then you realize you're gonna have to do it for another 100 hours, and it's just like,
Yeah.
this
Basically, what Dynasty Warriors games
because
are.
all it is just more enemies in each level. It's like they've shown you their cards, now they just are throwing cards at you. It's like, you've seen all these, now pick them up.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
but
don't think I've ever touched an EDF game in my life.
this was within the last year that I did this.
Okay.
It was the first time I had ever touched
I-
one. So
That has nothing to do with the Red Faction games, right?
No.
Because they're
No.
EDF as well.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, these
Got
are their
conflict
own
and EDFs
thing.
here.
I don't even know what company publishes these.
Majesco, I don't know.
Bally.
So, thinking about remasters, Red Faction Guerrilla,
yes!
remaster version of that.
Remastered edition.
Remastered.
And you know what? 10 years, it's probably about time.
Oh, yeah. I am ready to fucking space asshole
It
the
came
fuck
out
out of it.
Same time as Burnout Paradise, so that's the right amount of time.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for the Red Dead Redemption remastered.
Remarston nerd.
They should just get really dumb with this.
Remarston.
Yeah,
oh,
remarston
I was
nerd.
going to mention this after the show, but the Xbox update today, it's a X update for Red Dead.
Ooh.
So
Maybe
and
there's a
and
remaster
I've been
version.
playing that on
It's
the Xbox
pretty.
One, and it looks fucking gorgeous. So I can't even imagine what they've done, because like I can think to Skate 3, which is a garbage 360 game, but looked fucking amazing with the 4K update. So I can't even imagine what Red Dead looks like now. So
And speaking of updates, this is the dumbest thing, but I'm going to mention it anyway.
all right,
Xbox. If you're on the grid, the view of my games and apps,
yeah,
where you are on that grid selecting
Mm-hmm.
determines which speaker makes the sound. So if you're in the bottom left, your back left speaker will make the bonk sound, and it will pan itself forward to the front left if you're on the top left. As you
It's
go
gonna play
across,
really
it
well
will
in
pan.
mono.
Yeah. If you pan across it, I was like, I don't know why it took me this long, or if it was in the update or something, and I only just now noticed it, but It is the dumbest thing, but you will go in your Xbox dashboard and you'll go to My Games and Apps and do it, and you'll be like, hey, he's fucking right.
Man.
I just like anything that uses positional audio.
That's pretty sick.
Which Burnout does amazingly.
Yeah.
It does weirdly. I think.
Yeah, like when you're on train tracks or something. Jen actually said, like, is there something in the... What was that? And it's like that sound behind you, that thunk, 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 thunk of being on the train tracks. It's weird.
So
Burnout's so good.
I think I need to play it in the first person / inside the car mode.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
I
so
only
I can
did that
experience
for the Get 20 Burnout chain
In
on
VR,
I-88.
maybe.
On I-88, I did that because like there was less to distract me.
Right. But it does some weird stuff with the car backfiring in Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, it does.
Like it sometimes sounds like it's like directly behind my head and about to crash into me.
It throws the audio in weird places.
Yeah, it's
like weirdly specific places
Yeah.
that feel like they shouldn't necessarily be where they are.
right.
Like
It's
in your house, sound should not be coming from there.
right. It's strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why you talking about Xbox updates made me think of that, but
Yeah.
anyway.
By the way, there are 8 Earth Defense Force games.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that makes-
8.
sounds about right.
So.
Yeah. So, if you got anything you want to defend, write us at where my skull at noquarters.net, as in the location of my skull, not an article of clothing.
Please do not wear our
Yeah.
skull.
Go to noquarters.net, check the side for all the socials. You can join our Discord channel from there, which we have regular discussions about all sorts of video games, as well as movies and stuff from BMFcast, our sister podcast, which is also where you can find patreon.com/BMFcast, which is where you'll find bonus stuff, including Let's Slay, which is our video series where we play through old arcade games with unlimited credits and make dumb comments as we
or
play
try
through
to.
them.
Yes.
We failed twice this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we're like, we need a new one.
Yeah, we do.
Is what you're saying. We're,
Well,
we're
one of them
about
is-
to-
One of them's long enough to where we could still call it an episode, but the other one, no.
Yeah.
Really?
One of them, we straight up, like, it had a choice, like a choose your own ending, like where the guy's like, hey, I want to talk. Do you want to listen? You're like, sure. And he goes, well, since you don't want to do anything, I'm just going to take you back to the beginning of the game. And start all over. And we're like, nah.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we're not playing through this again.
Oh, could you imagine if that actually cost you money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Yeah.
And then the other one, like, something happened. Like, we somehow both died. We still had credits.
I think it had a finite number of continues system.
Maybe.
But it just never told us that.
Yeah, because
Oh,
like we
no.
both were like, continue. Why? What?
Yeah.
And then it ended. So
But that one was
So you got
we
to
were
that
okay.
game was-
fail.
Yeah.
not good
Wow.
anyway.
Yeah, we failed.
Well, that'll make it in the Let's Slay fails, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes,
But yeah,
we do
anyway.
make these.
Yeah. If they're timed exclusive to Patreon, but if you want to see the ones that are up for free, now if you go to youtube.com/noquartersnet, there's a whole playlist called Let's Slay. All the ones that are free now and the ones that we failed at and stuff like that, they're all
Yeah.
up there. So there's 7 or 8 videos that you can go see.
And by the way, we're mostly picking some, let's say shit games. We're going some
Yeah.
like bad ones. Like we're kind of doing the Bamfcast
Well, we
thing
just
with.
don't even know what they are most of the time.
Yeah.
A lot,
Yeah.
we picked Hot Dog Storm because the name of it is Hot Dog Storm.
Hot Dog
right,
Storm.
there was
which
not a
ended
lot
up
of,
being one of the most fun ones we played.
Yeah.
but there was not really any like precipitation of hot dogs.
No,
No.
there was no
It was all about hot dogging.
pork-related
It was all
weather
great.
incidents.
Friends standing and hot dogging.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're all bad. It's just like these are B and C tier things. Some of them didn't even come out in America
Yeah.
in mass or anything. So
Most of them make us say, "What the hell is this?"
like we're
And
finding
then we
things
play
from
it to the
companies
end.
like IRIM
IREM.
and things like that. So.
And there's some where the guy says, "Sleep with the fishes, pretty boy."
Pretty boy.
Or no, sleep with the angels. Is
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
Sleep with the Angels, pretty boy.
Yep.
With the angels, pretty boy.
Boy, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you get Metal Wolf.
Little Fox.
Little fox.
You guys get it wrong. Somebody
get it
gets it
wrong.
wrong
I get it wrong
literally
every
every time
time.
it comes
And it's
up.
also not metal, but
Whatever.
Meta.
Yeah.
It's the meta.
Fox. Metal Fox.
Yeah, so they're fun. They're on patreon.com/BMFcast.
Mm-hmm.
They're on, I think, the $3 tier.
Yes.
So that's not much.
A $3 tier.
Three.
Right.
And you get other...
Sit right back and you'll see Let's Slay.
Yeah. And you got plenty of other bonuses. So we make your donation worth it.
God
And
damn
we
it.
and we appreciate them because they help us keep paying for hosting and bandwidth
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So
And an extra monitor to put out more content with.
Yes.
It's all just feeding back into the
It's
system.
already paid for itself.
So
Yeah, it totally
you
has.
get content. We get to make more content.
Mm-hmm.
We have to work
20
harder.
go to 10.
You get more things.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
check that out. And thanks for listening to this show.
We
Once again.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Absolutely.
We'll be back soon with more. Big thing I know coming out, God of War between this and next month.
Yep.
Anything else? It's
No.
kind of it's starting to slow down a little bit.
I don't have
there
a
was
game
burst,
until May, so
Yeah, there was a burst of stuff, and now it's kind of like steadying out.
Yeah.
But
There's
we'll
a
have
Kingdom
stuff to
Hearts
talk
coming out at some
Okay,
point, right?
there's always a Kingdom Hearts
that's-
coming
That
out.
doesn't have an announced date.
I have no idea.
Right? Okay.
There is
I know people
always
that are
one coming
getting.
out.
I keep seeing people get hyped about it, but I can't remember what's. Anyhow, God of War. We'll have finished Far Cry.
Yeah,
The rest of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if we talk spoilery about it next time.
We
might-
maybe all have played a bird lawyer game.
maybe we should maybe
You should
make
play
a,
Aviary Attorney.
make a point to do that.
Pretty good. So anyway, let's get out of here. I'm Mackie,
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Harlow.
and this is No Quarters Out.
Motherfucking video game podcast.
That's right. Caw.
Right, Steve.
Is that you being a bird
Attorneys.
attorney? An
Bird
aviary
attorney.
attorney?
Yeah, so Sonic Generations went backwards compatible today. And so Darksiders, Gears of War 2, Force Unleashed, Portal 2, Red Dead Redemption all got X enhancements.
Nice.
So I'm going to have a bunch of updates.
Yes, you are.
Did you say Force Unleashed 2?
No.
Oh, okay, it's just Force Unleashed.
Yeah, no. Force Unleashed 2 is not long enough to receive
Yeah.
to receive an
It's
X.
backwards compatible, though.
It is, yeah.
But who even owns LucasArts now? Is it... Because Disney Interactive doesn't exist, so...
They still own the IP. They
Yeah, are they just
Yep.
checking off on... Because that's all it is, really, is them going, hey, well, yeah, go ahead, do this.
I mean, I'm sure they still have like a licensing division, so they're just earning the money on that.
Yep.
Although, yeah, wait, no, someone would have had to do the work.
I don't know, man.
Did we do an intro?
On the X enhancements, there are.
A what?
We have not done the
We have not done an intro.
intro either.
Who wants to do an intro? Mark the Ninja?
I could do another DJ Atomic.
DJ Atomica?
Would seem appropriate.
Yeah,
We can wait for Mark and the Ninja Remastered for him
Yeah.
to make a...
which is coming, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I've already played through that game twice, but I might do it again.
Do it again.
It's a good game.
It is a good game.
Besides me getting to do... Hey, guys!
It is a good game.
Hey, guys, Mark the Ninja here.
So, you know, like with these old ass Xbox
Just about
games.
to go.
Sorry, I didn't know you were ready.
It's okay. Carry on.
No, I was just gonna say, like with these Xbox games that are coming out, like Breakdown, I'm still not even sure what that is. I would go watch someone play that, and just be like, I need to know what Breakdown is.
Never mind. You may proceed.
Indigo.
What does DJ Atomica call you in Burnout Paradise? He just says, hey.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
Hey, DJ Atomica here for No Quarters. Why don't you crash and burn your way through Hope County, Montana, and then maybe a quick stop off at Paradise City. That's right. DJ Atomica out.
That's right. that's the shitty DJ Atomica. That's right. I'm right.
At 7.
Mm-hmm.
7.
Are we just meeting out there?
Probably.
And it's at Tinseltown, right?
Tinsley Town? Cool.
All right.
We will see you then.
Yeah, sounds great. I'm going to grab my hoodie. I should probably wear
You should grab your hoodie.
Totes, grabs,
totes, grab it.
hoods.
All right, goodbye, if anybody's still there.
Probably not. But anyway.
Goodbye. Bye, Kyle. Hi, Kyle. Bye, Kyle.
we stopped early. Kyle's not gonna have a chance to get here.